sleep, I'm gone.
What's good, what's good, what's good, family? It's your boy, the Wall Street Trappin, man. Welcome to another episode of Trappin Tuesday, man. Let's go, man. So, y'all know, man, each and every week, we are so honored, we are so privileged that you take the time out your day to spend 3 hours with us. Right, that's right, 3 hours with us after a long day, after so much turmoil and so much controversy and so much just what a day can bring on, right? So I want to, from myself and my team, we just want to say we appreciate y'all. We just want to say, man, we love y'all, and we are honored to be a part of your life, whether you're in your living room. You know, Jose like to watch, if you on the TV, that's Jose's special right there. You know what I'm saying? But for me is, if you in the car, if you at work, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, man, I just want you to know, thank you, we appreciate you. We're gonna give you a round of applause for that, for sure. All right, man, so today I wanna get into something. Hey, I see y'all like, come on. All right, man. So today, man, we're going to get into this show, man. As y'all can see, man, I'm just excited, man, because this is truly the highlight of my week, man. Like, talking to y'all. I'm so inspired by y'all. You know, I get to see my Patreon people in the chat. I get to see my Trappers Anonymous people in the chat. I'm just so inspired by you all. You don't even know it, man. So today, Jose, I want to start off with this on my mind, something on my brain that's really important. And it starts off with, it's a saying I heard. So let me pre-frame it by doing this, Jose. Right? So since I come from Anguilla, right, with my lady, man, I just had this vision that I truly, and I know this is a financial show, right? But I can't truly get into the finances without first just saying God is just, you know what I'm saying? And so I had this vision, bruh, and I had this idea that in this season of my life, at 43 years old, Jose, I wanted to truly become closer to God, and I truly wanted to put God in everything. I wanted to surrender. So that's my word for 43. At the age of 43, Jose, my word for 43 is surrender, right? And I had this idea because as we building out the Freedom Center, as we do that, I think that something came to my mind, and I thought about Peter on the boat, right? Jesus tells them, get on the boat, we going to the other side, right? He said, get on the boat, we going to the other side. And what I learned about God is that God doesn't always give us the intimate details, but he'll give us what we need to know. He said, get in the boat, we going on the other side. And so Peter and the rest of the disciples gets in a boat, and then they had seen so much happen. They had seen so many miracles on display. And what happens is they forgot the overall instruction about going to the other side, because sometimes the distractions or the adversity that becomes present, that is front facing, makes us forget the overall goal that we're trying to accomplish. It makes us forget the overall vision that we on. So when I think about it, it's like I'm in the boat. We in the boat. The instructions were go to the other side. We going to the other side. But he did not say storms will not happen. He did not say that the sea won't be choppy. He didn't say that the winds won't blow. He didn't even say that water won't come in the boat. And I can only imagine being in a boat, right? And it's probably not that big of a boat. It's not a Titanic of a boat. It's not a ship. It's a boat. There's a difference between a boat and a ship. Right? He said, get in a boat. So we're in a boat, and I can only imagine what happens while you're in a boat and water start coming in the boat. I can only imagine if you're in the boat and then water start coming in the boat and then the wind is blowing real hard and you forget that the command was to we going to the other side. And what happens on our journey a lot of times is we forget the overall mission because of what's going on in the moment. We forget the thing that, watch this, we forget the feeling that we felt when we got the instructions day one. Right? We forget that. Hey, go get the building. Bet. And you're excited about the building. You into the building. Yep, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Oh, let me make it make sense. Everybody don't gotta build it. Like you go buy the new house or you got this dream or you got this vision that you're telling everybody about, right? And then what happens is while you're in the process of being in the boat and you're not on the other side, but you can see the other side, but it's a far distance off, but water comes in the boat. And so the first splash of water probably doesn't really scare you. Like, I'm on the water, that happens. But then when more water get in, and then you might have some water that get to your ankle. Now you kind of start thinking, hey, we got a problem here, right? You think that's a thing because everybody got a different type of risk tolerance. And because everybody got a risk tolerance, I might not trip when the water splash, but when the water jump in the boat and then the boat start rocking and then I can hear the wind, that may be the level of my risk tolerance. So you got the vision to be free, right? You got the vision to be free. You say, I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna create generational wealth, and I'm gonna put my money in the market. But then the market pulls back, and then when the market pulls back, I lose my job. When I lose my job, somebody gets sick. And when somebody gets sick, and then the car breaks down, and then I lose the car, and now the bill's behind. And you forgot that you really wanted to build generational wealth because now you got water in the boat. See, the water in everybody's boat looks different. The water looks different in everybody's boat. Right? So the wind blowing while the water in your boat, it look different. So to me, water in my boat might be, dang, the ceiling falling, but while the roof is coming down, I'm also fighting this over here, and I'm also trying to grow the team, and I'm also having problems here. That may be mine, but yours may be, hey, I just can't pay a bill this month. That's water in your boat. Yours may be, hey, I'm behind on my credit card bill. Yours may be, my kids just got to put out of school. Yours may be, I just got a divorce. Yours may be, I need to go to therapy. Like, your water in your boat look different to everybody. So what I'm saying is, but when the water come in our boat, we cannot forget that the goal and the instruction was we going to the other side. We going to the other side. And we forget that. And the real keys to freedom is no matter what the adversity is, follow the instruction. No matter what the adversity is, follow the instructions. And so I sit back and I was like, all right, God, like my goal this year, my keys to freedom this year is surrender. And so I thought about something, and I had to tell God this the other day, Jose. I was praying. I said, God, I got to come to you because I'm guilty of this. I heard a statement that really hit me in my heart, bro, and it said, and I added to it because it said, the statement was, if you think money is the solution to all your problems, God gonna make money prove it. And I said, that means God is gonna give you an abundant amount of problems because money can never do in your life what God does. So I thought about it and I said, God, you know what? God, I gotta ask for forgiveness, God. And the reason why I gotta ask for forgiveness, God, is because I make too many business decisions based off money when you gave me the mission, not the money. I say, God, I gotta ask for forgiveness, God, because the money didn't give me the mission. The money ain't even mine. I say, God, you gave me the mission, you supplied the money, My flaw is I want to keep you in my life, but I'm making all my business decisions based on the money when I should be making the business decisions based on your instruction. You told me, God, get in the boat, we going to the other side. You ain't never tell me to worry about the water. You ain't never tell me to worry about the wind. You ain't never tell me to worry about the cracking noises that I hear. You told me, get in a boat, we going to the other side. My problem is, I'm so human, I let my humanness make me forget about your godliness. That's it. I made my human emotion, I made my human foresight, I made my human instinct override your godly instinct, so you gonna keep making me make the money prove itself. When I'm gonna run out of money, then I'm gonna give you the glory. So you like, hey, you got a choice to make, Trap. Either you gonna let me do it now, or I'm gonna make you run out of money, and then you gonna have to come me one way or the other. You gonna learn through experience, or you gonna learn from command. Either way the cut go, I got you. You just decide how you get the lesson. You just decide how you get the lesson. I got you. My resume says I got you. If you look at your life from 13, from seeing your mama get shot, from going to prison, from being homeless, from doing all the other stuff that you did, I showed you, even when you mess up, I got you. But here's the thing. I'm not gonna not let you experience the thing you got to experience so you can get what I'm really trying to give you. Okay, let me make that make sense. Let me really reel that in, right? So the Israelites said, we want a king. God said, hey, you don't really need no king. The Israelites said, no. Jose and them got a king. I want a king. And then God says, you don't really need no king. You got me. You don't need no king, right? But they looking at what people got, and they looking at, hey, humanness make them forget godliness. So I got you. I've been had you. I had your forefathers. I had your ancestors. Y'all ain't never went without. You forgot. You slept in the desert. You ain't get hot or cold. You walked through an ocean, a sea that I didn't have. You actually went from slave to generational wealth just by stepping out of Egypt. But you want a king. I bet I'm going to give you a king. When they got a king, it was so terrible. They said, hey, we don't really want no king no more. So you're going to learn a lesson one way or the other. Either you're going to learn a lesson by taking my word, or I'm going to give you the experience. The bad part about that is the experience is a setback, but it's necessary, because only then do you take the experience, do you get closer to God. So the keys to freedom is follow the instruction. The key to freedom is really just following the instruction. Our biggest issue is we get too human. We get too human. And so the humanness that wants to make logic out of everything, we ain't even realizing that. At what point did God say he was a logical God? So we get too human. We make it make sense. God don't even much make sense. And so what I want to talk about, like for myself, Jose, like I'll be honest, like my goal has been just, surrender, right? That's the key. So it's follow the command, and then following the command means I get to surrender. Right, so when you go here, I'm also gonna surrender it. All right, God, go ahead on, I ain't tripping. It is what it is. So the goal for me for 43, I tell you no word lie, is surrender and follow the command. And I said something to myself, Jose, I said, bro, I know this is a financial show. We gonna get to it, I promise. But I said to myself, Jose, I said, God, in this season, I want to depend on you so much to where when I'm trying to depend on myself, I feel like a handicap. I say, God, I want to depend on you so much in this season to where anytime I feel like I'm not depending on you, I feel handicapped. I feel like something missing. I feel like I can't move. I feel like I'm missing the limb and I can't see the right way. I can't think I feel handicapped when I'm not dependent. I won't be so dependent on you. I won't feed on your words so much. I won't get so intimate with you that when I'm not around you, I feel lonely. I won't be so intimate with you, God, to where when I'm not talking to you, I feel heartbroken. I feel depressed when I ain't talking to you or when I don't feel your presence around me. The keys to freedom in this season is surrender, follow the command, and dependency. Dependency. I get it. It's a financial show. I get it. Right? I know it. But because I want him in every version of my life, from when I wake up in the morning, from when I'm looking at a chart, from when I'm driving to work, from when I gotta make business decisions, because when I gotta make personal decisions. Like, God, I won't be so dependent on you that I'm brain dead without you. I won't be that dependent. I won't have that much faith. And the reason why is because when I look at your resume in my life, it's perfect. When I look at your resume in my life, you fill all the slots. Like what they say, like I think there's a thing with somebody getting hired, they say, hey, you overqualified for the job. God, like you overqualified to be my grace, and like you overqualified. When I look at the resume that you got in my life. Like, I don't want you, and that one of our biggest problems is we want to be wealthy, and watch this, Jose, we want to be wealthy, but we trying to pick and choose what part of our life we want him in. I want you to get me out of this situation, but I don't want you to tell me to do my money. I want you to do these things for me, God, but first fruit, God, I'm attracting all the things that you got in store for me. Cool. But here's the command on what I need you to do with the things that I got in store for you. Wait a minute, God. I just want the things, but I don't really want the command. I want the things, but I don't want the command. I don't want carry the cross like that. I don't want kill you mean you're going to give me all the things and I can't, what? Delight yourself. I say, okay, bet. This is what we doing. So in this season, God, I want you to do that. But I'm gonna do that. So what I'm telling us is we are fighting a fight. We were born to fight a fight in this world, y'all, that yes, we were designed to be free. But watch this. The prodigal son gained his freedom and lost his spirit. Watch me. Freedom with no boundaries will execute you. It will execute you morally. It will execute you spiritually. It will empty you emotionally until you got to get in a pig pen in the same mud. Now watch this about the mud, Jose. The same mud that created Adam was the same mud that baptized the prodigal son. It's mud. It's dirt. It's dirt. So there's something about being in the dirt that make you get life. That's why some of us, we don't shake back till we hit rock bottom. Some of us don't get right until we in the mud. I got it out the mud. I seen a light when I was in the mud. It took for me to get in the mud to get my stuff together. It took for me to lose it. Sometimes being in the mud means losing it all. He had to lose it all and be willing to eat with the pig. He had to be in the mud, y'all. Now we go a little further and we think about the mud. Watch this. Watch this. Moses split the Red Sea. Now I ain't the smartest person in the world, Jose. right? But if I got some water and I pour it on the dirt, that water make what? Mud. So when I'm walking on the ocean, when I'm walking on a sea with my lady and we walking, the water keep coming and that'll turn to mud, right? So here's what I do know. When you split the Red Sea, that's not concrete down there. That ain't concrete down there. That's mud. Watch this, Jose. The Israelites walked the bottom of the Red Sea. They walked through the mud with everything that they had. And they became the last generation to get it out the mud, fam. They became the last generations to get it out the mud, fam. Looking at the adversity. You know the type of belief you gotta have to walk through that? So the keys to freedom is following the command. Dependency. That's it. That's it. Think about it. Red Sea splits. That got to be muddy down there. That ain't concrete. That ain't concrete down there. That ain't steel. That ain't wood. That's mud. And they walk through the mud. And they're the last generation to get it out the mud. So my question to you is, are you bold enough to handle those keys to freedom? Are you bold enough? Are you committed enough? Will you follow the command? Because I know for a fact, you ain't just come up with the idea that you want to be the first generation millionaire on your own. You ain't just come up with that business idea on your own. You know for a fact you heard God say, do that thing. You know for a fact you heard God say, go help this business go here. You know for a fact, you know it clearly. You heard God clearly tell you the instructions. The problem is you worrying about, if I go out on my own, am I going to be able to pay my house note? If I go out on my own, you ain't by yourself. You ain't alone. He told you get in a boat, go to the other side. You stop being human and you step into your spiritual side. You step into the person who gave you the instructions. Stop depending on your own mind. What he told you, be ye transformed. And instead of you being transformed, you keep conforming. You keep conforming. So that's why I trade hard for you. That's why I invest in hard for you. That's why entrepreneurship hard for you. That's why every time you try to go forward, it get a little hard for you because you not being transformed, you being conformed. You not being transformed. You being conformed. You keep worrying about what's in front of you and forgetting where you got the instructions from. So every time you forget why you got the instructions from, now you got an internal battle between, I know God told me this, but this is what I feel. God don't care about what you feel. He trying to get you to go somewhere so you can get the glory, but you keep being gloomy. Your gloom is putting you in guilt that's putting you into prison. And instead of transitioning and transforming into glory, I ain't never once in my life looked at nobody and said, well, at this point, be like, I want to be like, man, listen here. Once I start really tapping into God, I already knew he gave me a specific set of instructions that only I can do. And everybody got a set of instructions. Everybody got an alignment that he gave you, that he spoke to you, that he embedded in you, that you pregnant with. And the problem is you keep aborting it because you won't conform and not transform. Give birth to the thing. Stop conforming it. Stop trying to hold it. Stop miscarrying it. Give birth to it. I know it's going to be painful. I know it's going to crown. Give birth to it, and that's the keys to freedom. That's the keys to freedom. That's the keys right there. That's the keys. Give birth to it, family. That's the keys. Stop miscarrying it. Stop thinking about aborting it. Give birth to it, family. That's the keys. Don't conform. Transform. Give birth to it, family. That's the keys. He made you uniquely. He put a specific DNA inside you. He gave you a certain type of wiring. He gave you a certain type of mindset. Only you can think of the thing the way that you think of the thing. Only you can move the thing the way that, only you can do the thing that you do so well, but you keep conforming. You think it's a hobby when truly it's a gift. Stop treating your gift like a hobby when your gift is the keys to freedom. Stop treating your gift like it's some side job. It's your keys to freedom. Stop treating that hustle like a side job. It's your keys to freedom. Stop treating this my little bitty business. No, it's your big business. That's your keys to freedom. Ain't nothing small about a gift. It's your keys to freedom. It's your ticket to generational wealth. Stop downplaying yourself. Stop looking at yourself and being in somebody else's shadow. Walk into it, family. It's your gift, family. It's your keys to freedom. Conform, transform, don't conform, family. Transform, don't conform. That's your keys to freedom. It's your boy, the Wallstreet Trapper, episode 152. Let's get this thing started, y'all. How we feeling, dog? Hey, yeah.
Is it the Freedom Center shirt?
Freedom Center shirt. It's a superpower.
Hey, bruh.
I feel it. I feel it.
Bruh.
How we feel? How we feel?
I was like, hey, this is what we doing today. Keys to freedom. And you was just like, bet.
Huh?
You didn't take a walk or nothing.
I did not.
Oh, man.
I did not. Shout out to our people in the chat.
Yo, they say your guns is gunning in the Freedom Center shirt.
Come on, hey, it ain't working out.
You know what I'm saying? What you doing on the bench right now?
I'm mad though. Cause I was at 305 one time, 1.5 times about 2 months ago, right? But I had kind of slacked up. I just was doing push-ups. So I'm at 295. I can do 295 1.5 times. I'm gonna give myself to about probably the end of July. I should be able to do 305 to 315.
Okay.
Right. And I've really been doing it after I leave the Freedom Center. So after I've been here all day, so if I probably do it in the morning when I first get up and I'm fresh, I probably hit it. But I like doing it at the end of the day because I know I don't got all that energy. So I know that's all grunt work, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to everybody that see the Freedom Center shirt, the whole squad. That's our new uniform. Freedom Center, Ohio Enterprise. Thank y'all. Somebody said I need the shirt. You can't get the shirt, fam. This is our uniform. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you wanting to be a part of that. I like that. Let's shout out to our people right here, man. Juicy Monet, what's good? Wave Down, what's good? My Iron Temple, what's good? Real Crafty Chick, what's good? Mac, what's up? Nettie, what's good? Carolina Blue, I see you. Ammo TV, what's good? AB, I saw you in the building. Family, Stephanie P, what's good? Freddie Cruz, what's up? Tiz Frank, what's good? Miss B was good. Cass Howard was good. KJ was up. Rams was up. G Rich was up. Jelly was up. Cheesy Bread was good. Pat Davis was good. Tariq was good. Wall Street Nell was good. Jelly was good. Tamara Buchanan was good. JC Affluent was good. Mac was good. Roxanne was good. First Generation Millionaire was good. Cliff was good. Double R, I see you, family, and I'm proud of you. Big Bell was good. Thavion was good. Larry Morgan was good, fam. Rodney was good. Jasmine was good. Angela Woods was good. E. Willis was good. Ronnie Davis was good. Gabriel was good. Upset Specials was good. Brian Village, I hope I said that right, was good. Will Mack was good. Eugene was good, family. It's going too fast now. I'll be trying. Pascal was good. Xavier was good. Reem was good. Val was good. B. Walt was good. T. Mac was good. T. Mac, man, I hope all is well, bruh. I ain't seen you in a group in a minute. I know you took a little break. You had hit me up. Appreciate that. Dollar Bill was good. Carl was good. TRF was good. Kenny Dorsey was good. Kenneth Dorsey was good. James Holmes was good. Howard Uptown Grow was good. Josh Ellis was good. Brittany was good. Val was good. Jason was good. Fat Boy was good. DeAndre was good. Lulu was good. Chill was good. Game was good. I see y'all. Above the Moon was good. Doug Perry was good. I see y'all, family. I'm trying to snatch y'all. You feel me? Dial was good. I'm trying to snatch y'all. Kevin Frank was good. Yep. All right. Lance Dozier was good. All right, man. That's a good. I'm done. JD the Great was good. You always, I got snatch.
I'm about to say, I knew you had a couple more.
I had snatch one or two. You hear me? All right, I'm good. Shazam X, I got it. What's good, Shazam? I see you. All right, I'm finished, Jose.
See, we need to get this to 3,000.
Alex Vegas, what's good? I gotta holler at Alex. He in the squad. When I see some of the people in the squad, I gotta.
Hey, look, I'm with you. Hey, we love everybody on this
show. I can't just act like I don't see him. Sir James, what's good? I see people from the squad. What would I do?
Nah, we good. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody watching on TV. Shout out to all the truckers. Shout out to the ones who in prison watching.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody watching on your phone. I need you to share this thing out.
Share it out, y'all. Share it out, y'all.
3,000 people.
Nettie, what's good? Now. I gotta shout my love out. Nettie, what's good? Crest Coast Tattoos, what's good? Cause I can't leave my people. I see my people. I can't just not act like I don't see them when I see them, bro.
Shout out all 2,500. Go ahead.
All right.
I love it.
Belina, what's good? I gotta shout my girl out. What you talking about? Come on, man. You know I gotta do that.
Oh, no, we good.
All right, my bad. All right, I'm chilling.
And go ahead and hit that like button while
hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button for us, y'all.
Appreciate y'all. You know
DC the Collector, come on. I gotta tell my dog what's up. I see my dog in here. What you doing, Jose? I gotta tell him what's up. All right, I'll stop. I'm gonna stop looking.
Nah, I like the hype.
That's my people, man. I gotta tell them what's good. Come on, bro. You know I can't act like I don't see my people when I see them. AB, what's good? Come on, come on. The Real Breezy. All right, I'm good. Oh, Miss Shelly Booker. She was at what you call it? Potter's house when we went.
Oh, yeah.
Good saw you. I gotta holler at her. We can't act like we don't see our people. Come on, man. Chelsea, come on. Chelsea, that's my girl. Trappers Anonymous. I gotta act like I see my people when I see them. Come on, man. Mr. VIP. Come on. Jose, you can't tell me not to holler at them. All right, I'm finished.
Oh, no, we good. Shout out to everybody who listened on the audio, too. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. We finished.
You can catch the live show, get your shout out on.
You catch the live show, you get your shout out on. All right, man. So we had a good... So, Jose, going to China tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard, brother. I told you I couldn't go, but yeah, I heard it's a nice little flight with that.
23 and a half hours.
And I'm a little frugal, so I don't know if I would have been on Delta One. That Delta One, like, hey.
I'm gonna tell you something though. You don't want to go to China and you ain't
regular.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to be regular.
Nothing against it. You go how you go.
No, you go how you go, but your scoliosis.
If you can avoid it, like if you can, you know.
My longest joint was London, but I had the
That's 8
regular.
hours, Jose.
Huh?
That ain't number 8 hours.
Nah, it was like 14, but
London?
London was about 14, yeah.
Bro,
And
you had a lot going on. That's an 8-hour flight, bro.
that's what, it was right before COVID, too.
London is an 8-hour flight, bro. Why did it took you 14 hours to
Hey,
get to
that's
London?
we went with ET, you know what I'm saying? But I had the regular seats, but nobody was sitting next to me.
Oh, look at Axe in the building, man. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah, he already here.
Come on, man.
So I had my own VIP seat, put my feet up, you know what I'm saying? Because I had the whole row.
Well, we going tomorrow, so.
You excited?
I'll be honest with you, not really.
It seemed like you was before.
Something about a 23-hour flight just don't, that's a long time. I'm not scared of nothing like that, but I'm not like excited, like, damn, I'm about to go to China. I'm like, damn, I'm about to go to China.
What was the longest flight you had?
The longest flight I had was when we went to Tanzania. That was like between Tanzania and Dubai. Both of them was around 12, 14 hours.
Okay.
Somewhere up in there. So I was cool with that, you know what I'm saying? But.
They asking what's in China.
Huh?
They asking what's in China.
So what's in China? So I don't mind telling y'all. So Dubai was 22 hours. Why was Dubai 22 hours? No, man.
Right, you know they be taking different routes also with storms and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
know
That's
what I'm
true. That's
saying?
true. My Dubai flight was 14 hours. All right, so here's the reason why Trap is going to China. So maybe about. So I'll give y'all some real talk right here. So y'all know the building cost me. So the building was $5.5 million, which of course I didn't pay the whole $5.5 million. I put $860 down. We got that out the market. And so from there, I want to say between all the improvements we've done so far for screens, carpet, painting, podcast rooms, Wi-Fi, security, I'm probably about $2 million in on the building. Ash, what's good? It's my girl. And so I'm not saying that the people that we had to do the building in America wasn't good because, you know, for me, I'ma always go and seek out the best. The problem with that was I felt like I could have got a better price. I just had to search for it. And so I went to my dog, him 500, and I said, bruh, you know, to get this whole building done, bruh, like just from the furniture and what we going, I'm like, bro, I'm probably gonna have to come up off like another 1 point something, bro, maybe 2. And he was like, and this happened right when the tariff stuff happened. So this like late February, early March, he sends me like 3 people on TikTok. So this is around the time China was saying, you think Italian purses is this? We do this. China was giving, like, y'all won't play? So China started, like, coughing up all that. Like, hey, this was really going on, right? So that was a good time to just pay attention. So Marcus sends me these 2 women that were going to China. And they were building out, like, duplexes and fourplexes and stuff. So I said, hey, maybe I can get that stuff over here. I can get the stuff I need for the Freedom Center here. I mean, I can get the stuff from the Freedom Center. If they building out duplexes and fourplexes, I could probably get it what I need for here. So just went down a rabbit hole. I'm talking about when I say went down a rabbit hole, I went down a rabbit hole the whole month of March and found like 3 manufacturers in China. And so I've been talking to them for 3 months. And had 2 different build-outs for what the Freedom Center looked like. So what you do is, and you know, I'm not in the furniture business, so this don't hurt me by saying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a financial education business. So I was like, so I looked it up. And so basically all of them asked me the same thing. Give us the blueprint. You give us the blueprint, we'll design it. So I say, wait a minute, you're cutting the designer out. Oh, this is interesting. That got interesting to me. Cause I'm gonna be real with you. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I can dress probably about like a 7.5 to an 8. Like I'm never gonna be when I agree with, okay, try fresh. But when it comes to like designing a house, I'm probably like a 2. I'm gonna have all kind of stuff that don't match, that don't look like it go together. Zebra might be over here, leopard might be over here, pinstripes over here, carpet over here. It's gonna look a mess. It's gonna look like Pee Wee's Playhouse. Whole while I'm thinking I'm killing it. You know what I'm saying? So they cut out the middleman with that. And I said, So maybe like 2 months, March, April, May, we was building it out. So I remember I showed Bernard and them the rendering. And B was like, whoa, where this happened at? I say, bro, this the people in China.
They ain't playing no games with that render.
You know what I'm saying? So they killed the rendering. And then, so, you know, I'm like, yo, this about to do it. So then just went through, I did the research and seen what all I need to have. So then a friend of mine who's over here has a showroom over here. So she goes to Vietnam all the time. She go to Vietnam, she go to Hong Kong, she go to Shanghai. Like, that's what she does. And so I asked her, I said, look, I won't go to China. Won't you come with me? She said, what you going for? I said, man, I'm going to get the stuff for the building. And so she said, say less. I said, look, I'm going to pay for your ticket. I'm going to pay for everything. I just want you to help me navigate. I'm a hustler, so I know, I don't care what language you're talking in. I know hustle when I hear it. You know what I'm saying? But because you've been doing business over here for so long, you know, let's rock. So she's like, bet I got you. So she actually left today. So she left today. She going, she's like, I bet I'll meet y'all there because I got to go to Hong Kong. So matter of fact, she left yesterday. She in Hong Kong right now. She's like, I got to go to Hong Kong, got to go to Shanghai, and then I'll meet you tomorrow. I'll meet you Thursday. So I'm like, all right, bet. So that's it, man. Going out there, and then while I was out there, while I was looking, so again, now what happens is, once you start, here's the thing about your algorithm. Once you get one thing on your algorithm, it floods it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So now my algorithm is full of Chinese manufacturers, from restaurants to clothing. That's the only thing on my. So I sent my dog Larry. I say, Larry, you got a restaurant. Hey, go check this out.
Mm-hmm. Messing up his algorithm now.
He like, bro, I never knew about this.
Mm-hmm.
I say, bro, you got all them restaurants, you probably getting hit for an arm and a leg, and all they really doing is go and get it from there anyway. I say, bro, you got all them restaurants, bro, just check it out. He said, bro, I'm about to book a trip now. And so I'm just like, that's where I'm going. So I'm going out there to do that. So, yeah, my whole algorithm is just workout and Chinese manufacturers. That's all my thing is right now. So that's where I'm going. So it don't hurt me because, you know, I feel like, I don't know.
At least you get some authentic Chinese food. I was telling Ash the other day, I ain't had Chinese food in a minute.
Well, here's the thing too. The place I'm going to, they so wide open. They said they showed 5 hotel chains that they designed in America, big dogs. I'm talking about people where we say, oh, this is luxury right here. They like, yep, we designed this, we designed. I was like, oh, y'all telling everything. They was like, yeah, we designed this here. I'm talking about show me the blueprint. This is what we did here. This is what we did here. Here. I said, oh, it might be. So, and what happens is you gotta do 2 things. You gotta go first. You gotta get you a visa. And then the next thing you have to do is, you know, probably get like Alipay or something like that. And then you'll have to, for the furniture people, you're gonna have to You either go out there and do it and then have somebody out there, but I'm in a situation where I can go. So you'll go, get your rendering done, and then you'll pick out your pieces. Now, my people told me, she said, you're gonna need 2 days to do that. I say, 2 whole days? She said, think about going to New York City. And everything in New York City, downtown is wholesale. Every one of those stores is a manufacturer. I said, oh, she said, bring you some good walking shoes and some water. That's yours. I said, I bet. And so,
make sure you got your Osmo out there, because everybody.
I'm bringing the Osmo.
Everybody wants to see you live in China.
I'm bringing the Osmo.
And actually, you probably do want to go vegetarian out there, because they do some different type of.
You don't know that, Jose. Don't put
Bruh,
that
come on, don't do that. It's on my algorithm.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Jose.
I'm just saying.
Don't do that, Jose.
Let's be safe. Better safe than sorry.
Don't do that, Jose. Don't do that, Jose.
Better safe.
Don't do that, Jose.
Than sorry.
Don't do that.
Shout out to 3,000 in the chat.
Shout out to 3,000 people in the chat, man. Let's get to it, man. We got an amazing show tonight, man. Let's start off with our mantra, man. Let's start off with our mantra, y'all. Canal Street vibe, Black Phoenix. For sure, you hear me? Let's go, man. All right, y'all, let's get it. I am a certified Wall Street trapper. I'm confident in my ability to make great investments. The stock market is a machine that prints money, and I am more than capable of operating this machine. Not only will I free myself, but my family will eat for a lifetime based on the information I apply today. I'm a money maker and a wealth builder. Today, I break all the chains that anchor me to that poverty mindset. My ancestors will smile now because I've turned our last name into an asset. My family's purchasing power will increase indefinitely. Today, I make the declaration that no longer will I be a slave to money. No longer will the generations behind me inherit lack. No longer will I submit to selling my time for money. I am a first-generation millionaire. I am the architect of my family's legacy. I am a certified Wall Street trapper, and Wall Street looks like us now. Let's go, man. The people say, man, flush Jose, man.
But then some of them like, hey, that boy tell the truth, though.
Nah,
I'm just saying.
Nah.
Don't make me highlight them.
Nah.
But they call me CVS. Keep the receipts.
I'm not doing that. I'm not.
Vegetarian.
Man, I'm not doing that. I'm not falling for that with you.
Hey, it is what it is, bro.
I ain't doing that with you, bro. I promise I ain't, dog. So anyway, let's get to it, man. We got an amazing show tonight. Let's get to it, man. If you, man, I just thank y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Let's make sure we get the likes up. Let's get them up. Let's get to it. Let's talk, Jose. NASDAQ up, S&P down, Dow Jones down. Now, what I will say is, the S&P today, the S&P hit 6,300, bro. How we feel about that? For the first time, 6,300, Jose. That mean they cooking. 6,300 is big. You gotta think about it. During the April, we was around what? 58? Maybe 58, right? We're somewhere around there, so that ain't bad. That's a hell of a run. And so what I will say is, what a time to be alive. You know, for me, you know, I don't care. You know, I always say it to y'all, man, like, we got to get emotions out of it, and we got to be willing to just play the market. The market does not go straight up in one line. There are opportunities for pullbacks. There are opportunities for all of that, and we got to just be willing to get there. Yeah, we was at 4,800. So 4,800. You know what I'm saying? So to go from 4,800 to 63, bro, that is insane. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, from 48 to 63 is, you got to be willing to say that I always say this to us, like, you either gonna love the game or hate the game, but you can't do both. You're gonna love the game or you're gonna hate the game, but you can't do both. And for me, I love the game. And so because I love the game, I'm gonna always partake in it. Right? I'm gonna always partake in it. My boy Trap got us. Actually, this is a large, dog. I'm just working out. I just make it look like that.
I mean, I got my medium though.
You feel me? This is a large, family. I just make it look like that now. Yep. That's what 295 do. You feel me? That's what curling them 65 dumbbells do. You hear me?
Take top fillers.
You hear me? That's what doing pull-ups with the 20-pound weight vest on, sets of 10. Dips with the 20-pound weight vest on, sets of 10. Push-ups with the 20-pound weight vest on, sets of 50. I do 10 sets, 50 and 30. I gotta at least do 5 sets of 50. So thank you for making me know that I make this large look like a medium. I appreciate your family.
And shout out to everybody who wear the mediums.
Well,
we see you too, salute.
Had nothing against that. It was just for that. It was just for that.
Oh, we good.
You know what I'm saying?
And the dudes who got the small petites.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you make them look like that sometimes. I mean, it is what it is. You know? So that I'm my thing is, so we said that 68 by the end of the year. Now, we know that July, first 2 weeks of July is good, but the last 2 weeks are, you know, down. So it's only for us to prepare for what's ahead. Then we know August typically is a slower month that leads to September. So for what I want us to do is, so, you know, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I think in July so far I put in 2 plays. I put in an AMAT play, and then I put in a play this week. Because I also don't want to be overly optimistic seeing the market just like hitting these highs, knowing they gotta pull back a little bit, and you don't know how far that pull back going. You also know that you know, Trump is consistently adding new tariffs, but the market is almost like shaking them off. You know what I'm saying? In a way. And it's not, me and Ashan were talking about this, like, I was saying, like, the market just grinding slowly. Like, it's not skyrocketing. Like, I think that phase is, you know, kind of settled a little bit, but the market is now just grinding its way, and it's gonna be a grind. And so you gotta be willing to endure the grind. You got to be willing to endure the grind. And so we know today that, and you know, the news came out last night with Netflix where Trump gave China that, and what I've really been looking at is the semiconductor sector just been outperforming. So really it's been the semis and the financials, but the financials have slowed down today for whatever reason. But the semis just been on a roll. I've been trying to get in SMH, and I've been really looking at SOXX, but I can't get in SMH at all. And I can't get in SOXX is going to kind of bounce off it because its big 2 holdings is Broadcom and NVIDIA. That's the top 2 holdings at 8% and 9%. So just watching them, I want to get into today, but it pulled back a little. So that may be something I'm looking at. So let's go a little further, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Look at our heat check. Yep, so we can see NVIDIA 4% today. And then look, the rest of the market. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the market. NVIDIA, AMD, AVGO, that's what your big winners. Oracle, Microsoft. And honestly, to me, this tells the story. This tells the story. Slow grind, nothing big. I will say this. GEV and GE are freaking relentless. I had a play for GE 2 weeks ago, and I hesitated. I'm not gonna lie. I hesitated. And that sucker went, and it's one of the ones you just be like, damn. I had it before I went to my birthday. I had to play. And I just was like, it didn't size up the way I wanted it. And I just sat back on, and that sucker just, that sucker done broke high twice. That sucker done broke high twice in a 2 week time span. So, yeah, so shout out to Oracle, shout out to Palantir, hit an all-time high again. So, like, you know, look, PANW, you know, so, you know, it's been, you know, that kind of market. And I don't think we need, so here's what I don't want us to do. I don't want us to chase. Not right now. Like, I wasn't tripping on you chasing a little bit when the market was down, but now the market is I don't want you chasing here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you chasing here at all. So let's go a little further. All right, here we go. 5.4 million calls to 4.3 million puts. It's kind of, I don't see that. But we got a stat tonight that's gonna show how that makes sense. Janelle, what's good, family? We got a call tonight. We got a slide tonight that's gonna show how that really makes sense. It's gonna really throw you off. All right, so let's go a little further. Come on, and here we are. We still are in this space, but here's why we in this space. And if I'm being real with you, is because now, like this, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like when y'all listen to the show, you're gonna see how strategical the show is. So keep this in your mind. Go back to that heat check play. Go back to that heat check. I mean, go back to the map, though, the heat map. Go back to the heat map. I want you to take a look at this, right? I want you to look at this heat map. Now go to the heat check. Heat check. 5.4 million calls, 4.3 million puts. Go to the next slide. Fear and greed is at 74. Now, mind you, when you look at the heat map, you see it's concentrated. The market, from my perspective, and the data that we saw today matches what I said, is getting concentrated again. And what I mean by the market is getting concentrated again, the market is now saying, hey, let's get back to normal. Meaning, let's go back to the ones that been taking us where we gotta go at. And you might don't see it, but this is gonna show it. All right, let's go further. You're gonna just keep that in your head as we go along. Let's get into it a little further. All right, let's get into the recession portfolio right quick. All right, let's go. Gotta show y'all the money, gotta show y'all the money, gotta show y'all the money. So out the gate, here's the thing too, bro. Like, I really felt like Apple was almost there. Right? That Apple play had came all the way back. Bro, I was like $200 from being in the green. I was like, okay, fight back, baby. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know. So we put in the AMAT play last week. You know, it's kind of where it was at. We put in the AMAT play last week. AVGO, I'm thinking about selling this play. I'm thinking about taking that money. I think I'm gonna sell that play. I don't think I need to hold it till September. I don't think I need to hold it till August. I'm gonna sell this play. If this play don't collapse by this week, I'm gonna sell it. Costco is just, I don't know, being stupid right now. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't even know. There's not even a catalyst to why this thing not going. Because usually Costco can go, whether tech running, whatever, Costco usually live in a land by itself. CrowdStrike did a reversal on us for a little bit, but I'm not mad at it too much. We all right. Goldman Sachs is being Goldman Sachs. We added another Goldman play last week. So we did 3 plays in July. Not mad at that. I ain't realized that. I have 3 plays in July. Not mad at that. So I'm okay with that. Goldman was actually doing pretty good. The bank earnings today took us out. And I don't know why, because JP Morgan had a good call. Wells Fargo was, so Goldman, I think Goldman reports this week too. I think it's tomorrow, tomorrow or Thursday. Goldman and Netflix report, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see right quick. Let me get to it. Let me see. Yep, so Goldman report tomorrow. Interesting. That's going to be interesting there. So tomorrow you got before the bell too. You got ASML. So mind you, in the morning you got ASML. That's going to be pivotal for chips. Ooh. You got ASML. That's going to be pivotal for chips. Then you got Bank of America. That's going to be pivotal for banks. You got Goldman Sachs. That's going to be pivotal for banks. And you got Morgan Stanley. That's all in the morning. And then in the evening, you have Synopsys, which is going to be pivotal for the chip sector. And then you have United, which is going to be pivotal for the airline industry. Then you got M&T Bank. So you got a lot of banks going crazy tomorrow before the bell. And then Thursday, you got a hell of a day Thursday because you got TSMC, which is another play I wanted to get in. Couldn't find a way to get in it because of what happened today. Then you got GE, Cintas. Been watching Cintas. They kind of fell off. I think there may be an opportunity there. I won't keep my eyes on Fifth Third Bank too. They're a silent killer. And then Thursday evening, as you know, I got $200,000 in Netflix. Yeah. So got Netflix, and another one that I like. One of my big ones for this half of the year gonna be Interactive Brokers. So you got Interactive Brokers, coming up. And then Friday, you got American Express. I think Charles Schwab is a sleeper. I think Charles Schwab and American Express are something to keep our eyes on. So that's what we got this week. And that's going to do a lot for the portfolio because if ASML does good, and then if ASML does all right, if ASML does bad, it's going to drag the chip sector down. And if TSMC does bad, it's going to drag the chip sector down. So you definitely don't want that with the good news from NVIDIA today. And because we in the banking sector with Goldman, they're a big dog next to JP Morgan. So if Goldman falls, but I think Goldman should be good because they have a lot of IPOs taking place right now. So but you never know. You never know. And with GE, if they can pull back, that would definitely be a play I would love to get in for an options play. Nothing big, something small. Netflix has been on such a killer ride, man. It's kind of interesting. Every time I see a company that's just dominating and going crazy, I always want to just brand builder, what's good, fam? So here's the thing about the Patreon. Patreon members, they be like, hey, that's what I like to see. Sean, throw me my charger for the computer, if you don't mind. Yep, so we got that going. So let's go. So then we got, so let's go a little further. Yep, so then we got, Lily, and I'm gonna tell the Patreon something too. That's my bad. You know why? Because the other day I sat down and said, this the phone, brother. Yeah. I said to myself the other day, I don't know where Jeremy at. I said, I was telling myself, I said, Eli Lilly is up 8,000. Let me go and get my money out of here. Because I don't feel like fighting it for the next 5 weeks to try to get it back. Janelle, I just be thinking about the plays. I be going through my head thinking about the plays. You know what I'm saying? I be thinking about them. I be having to think for me and y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we got Meta, not mad at the Meta plays. Y'all know we locked in on that. So I will say this. I told the Patreon this the other day. There you go. I told it, just give me that. No. Oh, I gave y'all my thing. It's all good. I forgot, I gave y'all my
We're going to get it straight.
Yeah, you all right.
Because I know you're about to die.
I'm about to die. So I told the Patreon this the other day. I said, I'm about to put I'm about to do what I told him I'm about to do. I told him this the other day in the Patreon, man. I say, I'm about to do a $200, because remember on the show when I say NVIDIA gonna go to $200? I told him this, and I'm gonna do it, but I'm saying it loud, so it's not even just a Patreon play. I'm about to take and put about $100,000 in a $200 NVIDIA play for 2026. That's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna do a $200 2026 NVIDIA play, not off metrics or nothing like that, just because I want to see this company hit. I'm gonna give it 1 year. Thank you, brother. I'm gonna give it 1 year. There's not a Patreon. I told them, but I don't know who. They probably don't be taking me serious though, because they know sometimes I just be talking crap. You know what I'm saying? And I never want to feel like I'm just talking crap. But I don't mind. You know my saying, treat a gamble like a gamble, treat an investment like investment. I just feel like AB said I got 280. I'm telling y'all, like I'm about to end them. I'm gonna put the play in. I promise y'all. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put $100,000. Damn, AB said 280. God damn, AB, what you see like that? Damn. Shout out to AB, man. That's my dog, man. But I'm gonna put it in there. Yep, I'm gonna put a play in, and it's not a Patreon. It's not a. I'm gonna put a two. I'm gonna give it one. It's gonna be a 1 year play. I'm gonna give it 10 months. I'm gonna put $100,000, and I'm gonna give NVIDIA 10 months to hit $200. Mark my word. Mark my word. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a 10-month play. That's the strike price I'm going with. So what it is right now, August, it's July. I'm gonna do a May 2026 $200 NVIDIA play, and we gonna just watch it do what it do. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I may stretch it out to 210 because it already hit 200, because I said that 2 weeks ago. So, but I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm just saying that's a play that I want, and I don't care what happens. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna just go with my move. So yeah. Anyway, let's go a little further. So we got the Netflix play in. So I definitely need Netflix to do something, because we was doing pretty good, then that killed. So then here's the Palo Alto play we put in today. It broke the 193 threshold, which is what I needed to see. Pull back a little bit at the end of the day. Not really mad at that. Palantir, shout out to Katie, because our baby daddy doing his thing. She knows, that's her dog. I ain't mad at her, shit. Spotify, QQQ. I definitely want to get it another Q play and another SPY play. I gotta pull. No, we back to the technicals with this. It's not the NVIDIA type thing. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to get another Q play, another SPY play. I really been liking the way we've been entering plays lately, though, bro. I'm not, like these last couple months, bro. So I think about it like this. From April to now, we've had 2 plays we lost on for the Patreon. One was Waste Management and the Palo Alto play. But I'm not mad at the Palo Alto play, because we doubled right back and got in a put and got that back. And that was, you gotta give me credit. They gotta give me credit. That was sweet what we did right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got that back. Man, they gotta we got that back on a real. Like, I said, hey, it broke structure. That was sweet. I'm not gonna lie. So there's these moments when so let me say this to everybody, right? Let me say this. There are moments on your journey when you feel like, ooh, it clicked, right? And so what happens is, as you keep learning, well, the Wingstop, we ain't closed out yet. We still in it. I still believe that's a winner, so that ain't a loss till I close out on it. And there's more plays after this. So there's moments when you in a play. I mean, there's moments when you've been studying, you've been reading, and you've been researching, and you've been looking at. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. Every day I spend about 2 hours to 3 hours on my chart. So what I'll do is before I come here in the morning, after I pray, after I do what I do, I'll spend an hour looking at my chart. Just different charts, looking at them, seeing if I can identify it, going through my mind. And I told y'all my mojo. What episode I was on the whiteboard when I said, here's my blueprint? What episode? That was like maybe 3-4 episodes ago. I said, here's my blueprint, y'all. I wasn't even trying to hide it. I said, here's my blueprint. I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. Once I box myself in here, this is what I look at, right? And so that goes my dog dream. There you go. And then once you do certain things, you know, you just keep pivoting. You just, like, I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to, bro, I'm nowhere near, like, a guru, right? I never want, but here's what I do know. I am so consistent when it comes to learning. We was talking to a corporate lawyer the other day, and I said, my favorite position is student. It's not founder, it's not leader, it's student. Because I never want to have the I've arrived moment. Because I think when you have the I arrived moment, you immediately get conceited. I think you can have the, that just clicked, right? Let me double down in it. I think you can have that. So I'm like, so the more I be learning, the more I be doing, I be having them, that click. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, we got in that Palo Alto play. I'm not gonna lie. I said, we're gonna get out here. I was just watching it. I said, if this thing break this structure right here, I'm gonna get some money, bro. And y'all know I'm not the person like that. Yo, that thing switched gear, that thing broke. I said, hey, y'all, if you won't be on the wild side, get it here, 190. Bro, that thing went from we watched it go from 188, 186, all the way down to like 192 or something. And we got out. And here's why I got out right there, because there's a demand zone right there. And literally what it did, hit that demand zone and started building back up. So, you know, we did that. We did that.
So let me ask you something. I'm definitely in the student mode.
Come on.
But when does that confidence? Because when you say you're the guru, kind of like, hey,
No, I'm not
I be on you. I be
not.
on you. But when is that confidence now? You like, yo, hey, based off my quantifiable results, based off of what I did, I mean, I'm kind of like that. You got to give my credit.
Well, I think that confidence is, so I'm gonna say this. In order to be really good at this game, you gotta have confidence. Because when you in a market, every day you in a fight, dog. Right? Every day, like, I don't care, like, every day. So people will show you all the wins, and yep, but every day you get in this market, you in a fight. You in a fight with a few things. You in a fight with, first, your psychology. That's the first thing you fighting. Somebody say this, they got somebody in the Patreon. Every time they make a play, they posting it and they say, I am capable of operating this machine. And I think that is so powerful, because every time they make a play, they be like, yo, I'm capable of operating this machine. And they put the play in there. And I think that is so powerful, because what it's doing is it's consistently building their confidence in their ability to operate the machine. That's why it's part of the mantra, right? I'm more than capable of operating this machine. You got to remember, we wasn't taught to operate this machine. The machine wasn't designed for us to be a part of, but yet here we are going against the matrix, going against the data, and saying, there are people before me like a Reginald Lewis who operated the machine at a high level. There are people before me that look like me, sound like me, that operate this machine at a high level. Trap is somebody that talk like me that operate at a high level. There's other people in this generation now so I too can operate the machine at a high level. So I think it is so important that we do that. So Jose, to answer that question, confidence comes from, I always said this, in this game, this is gonna be controversial, but I want you to hear me. In this game, your ability to execute is almost more important than your ability to see the data.
That's good.
Here's why I say that.
Good.
Here's why I say that. Because sometimes you can see the data and you still can't execute because you paralyzed. You scared to do something. Your ability to press sell, your ability to press buy can be more important than your ability to read the data. Because now, once you read the data, pressing buy and sell is not a problem. But if you can just read the data and you haven't got over your buy and sell, now you trying to keep paper trading and you like, yeah, I'm gonna keep paper trading until I get it right. And I'm not mad at that. But at some point, the paper trade got to transition. The paper trade, watch this, I'm not downplaying nobody, but the paper trade gonna build up a false confidence. Here's why. The paper trade gonna let you see it. The paper trade gonna let you go through it. But watch this. Once you get in the game, it's real time. It's big money coming. It's big money waiting in the cut. They waiting at, watch this, they waiting at 208. They waiting at 200. They waiting to fill in liquidity gaps. They waiting to pump fake you. They waiting to put that selling, they waiting for you to put that play in and all that selling pressure come down and it crush you. That you don't feel that in a paper trade because that ain't your money. That ain't real money. You just be like, okay. You ain't lost no sleep over that. You ain't lost no sleep over that. Right? So while it's good for you to get the understanding of the nuances and see what's going on, it's a different ball game. Once you get in there, you like, yo, this is the $1,000 that I worked hard for. This is the $5,000 that I worked hard for, and I'm about to put it in that market. And here's the thing. You ever saw this thing where you see somebody like getting a football game or something and stuff go, it's going real fast. That's how I be looking at the market. You look at that, you just see all the red and green. You just see them. Dang, that shit moving fast. Now you can't press that button. You can't press that button now. Because now it's going to make you, watch this, the market going to always make you prove your thesis. No matter what it is. And here's the dope part about it. They can have 6 traders up in here right now. We can see the market similar, but we can all see the market different. Me, I can sit right here. Sean can sit right here. This person can sit right here. So another person can sit right there. It can be 3 men and 3 women. Guess what? We all can see similarities, but we all gonna see the candles talking to each other a little bit different. We all gonna find something a little bit different that'll make us. I'll give you an example. I put a play in the day. I say, Sean. Oh, I say, I like this one. We run it through it. So Sean, I'm running it. Sean like, ooh, that's good. And then Sean said, I like that, Trap. And then he said, I'm going to wait till you do this because it look like this over here. That's going to happen if you have 6 people. So here's what's going to happen. You know the only thing that tells us who's right and who's wrong? It's not the thesis that we had. It's what the market do once we press buy or sell. The market always has the final say. And it don't care what I wrote down. It don't care what I charted up on the screen. It don't matter what Sean say. It don't matter what I say. It don't matter what Warren Buffett say. It don't matter what Bill Ackman say. It only care about what Donald Trump say. I had to throw that in there. I don't know where that came from. It was sitting right there for me to grab. It was sitting right there for me to grab. I don't know how I went and grabbed that thing out of the air. But yeah, man, the market doesn't care. And so the market will always make you justify your research. It will 100%. So, we went on a whole rant about that. We still on Spotify. Damn. All right, let's go. They laughing at that Trump part. Hey, I don't know. It was sitting there, too. I ain't got it. Give it here.
There it is.
All right, so let's go a little further, man. And then we got our last couple plays, man. Spot. I told Sean this earlier today, man. There's 2 plays I wish I would have got out of, and I had my mind to get out of it because I'm seeing they do the same pattern. Visa will get up to $3,000 to $4,000, then it'll sell off, right? Costco will get up for me about $6,000 to $7,000, then it'll sell off. So the next time they do that for me, I'm exiting. I don't care if I got it to January. I'm exiting. The next time Costco, y'all know when I say it, I mean it. And man, Wingstop is just fricassee, man. Fricassee. Man, it's fucking hot here, man. Pissing me off, man. Anyway, let's go a little further, man. I think I'm gonna get out. Hey, but I think I'm gonna get out of that spy call. I think I'm gonna get out of that spy call. That spy call and that QQQ call, I'm gonna get out of them. We up on it. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna take that money, sit it on the side. That's gonna be some good. That's gonna be some good money to execute with. It's gonna be some good money to execute with. All right, let's go a little further, man. Here go the Freedom Index, man. If you want to join the Patreon, man, come join us, man. It's a dope community. We interactive, man. They got some dogs up in there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. It ain't just me. When you join the Patreon, you ain't just joining for me, man. You joining for community. You joining for people who see the game how you see it. I've been doing a lot these last couple of days, so I've been in there not much as I'm normally in there, but I've been in there like checking in like 4, 5, 6 times a day. Usually I've been there for hours having conversation with them, but this stuff been just a little busy. It's been a little heck. I've been in interviews after interviews after interviews after assessments after assessments, so it's been a lot for me. So yeah, so here's I keep saying I'm gonna get rid of this play, bro, and I did not get rid of it yet, bro. AJG, Costco, Crowd, CVLT, Meta, Netflix, NVIDIA, and PTLR is our Freedom Index. So come join our Patreon, Daphne. I'm with you. That's a fact. Once you hit that button, you are no longer in control, man. So come join the Patreon, man. We're a family, man. They got some, like I say, they got some dogs up in there. You know. And we about that life. You know what I'm saying? Again, I will say this, come to the Patreon. I personally, I'm not a day trader. So if you're looking for me to trade every day, if you're looking for me to put a trade in there every day, you know, that ain't how I play. You know what I'm saying? We do swings, we do deep swings. And so with that being said, you know, 1 week you may see 2, 3 plays. 1 week you may not see no plays. You know what I'm saying? I may go 2 weeks without putting a play, then you may wake up one day, I put 5 plays in a row in there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And every play is not a guaranteed winner. I will say from January to February, we had a good win streak. From February to April, we got punched in the face. And from April to June, we have a good win streak. So you got to just determine how you want to play the game. You know, I'm not going to say we 100% on what we do, but you're going to learn a lot. The goal is to make more money than you lose, and that's it. So that's the goal, man. So come join us if you want, come lock in. I'm talking about, and when this community, when this center opens up, we definitely I'm going to have an award show for my Patreon members. And you got Buzz? Nets?
You know you had that cup down there, and it was a whole mess of them joints. Not that one. They cleaned that one. It was another cup.
You need to get the people up in here, man. Yeah. You got to get them in here ASAP.
They off the
Nats
chain.
Freedom Center? What we doing?
You see what Elle got on?
What she got on?
And she got her Freedom Center shirt underneath, though. But she fly today. Anywho.
So, yeah, man. So come join us, man. I'm going to do I want to have like a mall ceremony when we come, you know what I'm saying, for like my Patreon people and my Trappers Anonymous people. And shout out to my people that was in Masters, Trap Masters. Once this building get open, I'm going to be real with y'all. I got to have my first meeting with all my Trap Masters people because that was my first mentorship. I had 6 quadrants of it, 5 or 6 quadrants of it, and I have not forgot them. So we definitely gonna have a meetup for my Trap Masters.
They gonna be salivating over that. They like, Jose, when is the doors opening? Cause
my first thing gonna be with my people from Trap Masters. Because I told them, I said once we get this was before we even had the building, but I told him we gonna have a meetup. So once the building open up, my first meeting gonna probably be like a little private situation with them. Cause we rocked out for maybe almost 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And I told them that I'm a man of my word. So yep, my first thing gonna be with them. It's probably altogether, it's probably like 100. Altogether, might be like 100 of them altogether. And that was my mentorship we was doing. Somebody said, man, I've been sparing finance all week. That's a fact. All right, I'm glad it ain't. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. And then TM4 in the building. What's good, family? Trap Master 2 in the, yeah, I ain't forgot about y'all. So let them know. Let them know. Once the Freedom Center opened, Triz came through a couple weeks ago. Him and Brooke. So once the building opens up, my first official, the first thing I do in here after a grand opening is gonna be with Trap Masters. I'm gonna do something special for them where we like lock in all day, we meet and greet, and we do some special stuff. And then what I might do is I might open it right back up. Once we get that, I might open Trap Masters back up. Or a certain type of mentorship. Well, let me say this right quick. Let me ask y'all a question before we get into it. Let me ask y'all a question. What if we did a mentorship where we met 4 times a year? Well, I want to do like a mentorship mastermind where the mastermind is where you come in, right? And I know it'll start off small, but it's growing into something. Where you come in and then the goal is not to where you just learn from me, but what happens is we split you up in groups, like a real mastermind. And once you sign up for it, you take a survey. And the survey is like a hot seat. And what you'll do is you'll say, here's what I'm having problems with. Here's what I'm having. So where we not just answering random questions, right? It's where you fill out a survey, and then the survey is like, yo, what are you having problems with? What was your biggest win? If you were a trader, what did you do? If you buy and hold, what did you do? And we'll have the rooms mixed with buy and hold and traders. And you'll get up and you'll present, here's my hot seat, here's what I saw on the chart, here's what I saw based on a company, or whatever. And then the people in the room with you help you navigate through what you're going through, right? So let me make it make sense right quick. So let's say, I'm gonna just use George for example. So George is in the early part of his trading career, right? So George come up, he fill out the hot seat, hey, my name is George. I am a buy and hold investor and I trade sometime. I'd rather do deep swings, I'd rather do swings. Okay, bet. Show us a chart of a company you got and you lost money on. Okay, he show that. Show us a company of a chart you got and you made money on. Boom. What are you having problems with your chart reading? Or what is your main goal? My main goal is to be a better buy and hold investor, or my main goal is to be a better trader. Okay, what is the problem that you have in trading? I'm having this problem right here. Why are you smiling?
Cam said it sounded like an AA meeting.
This nigga is stupid. So anyway, once you do that, now the people are the people in your group gonna say, okay, try this, try that. Get up in there, do this, that. And so then you'll say, okay, now in 90 days, you gotta come back. What you gonna improve on in 90 days? You gotta improve on something that you had a problem with, right? So you improve on that. So we give you 4 things to improve on. And so we spend 2 days broken down in different groups where that's the whole theme. And then, prior to that, we have some expert speakers doing some certain stuff. I think that'll truly, because what happens is you got people on so many different levels to try to give one class, you miss so many people. Right? So if somebody right here, yeah, you teach them something here, but you miss them right here. Well, if somebody up here, but they don't got this, you teach them here, but they miss that. When trading and investing is a holistic approach, and we go at the holistic approach for it. So I think I'm willing to
Man, the freedom center gonna be jumping.
No, so that's kind of the idea. Well, somebody said, well, Cam said it sound like a AA. Well, that's what Trappers Anonymous. That's why we call it that. The problem is, here's why I think about that. I go to different masterminds, bro. And the thing about the real dope part about a mastermind is, it's not that you get one person to teach you. The real thing when you go to a mastermind is you're around a group of people that's brilliant and y'all just brain. So really and truly what I learned about mastermind that I pay a lot of money for is you going to be around people who have experienced similar problems that you have. They have worked their way through them and they're on another level of problems. But whatever level they're on, there's somebody in the room that has experienced that problem that is on another level of problem.
And it's easier because it's a different step.
And so now in the room, you're always in the room with somebody who has experienced the level you're on, but you don't feel isolated. Like, man, I won't be in that room. No. The rooms are so mixed, and I think that's what we'll have to come in at and say, okay, we'll have to really do the deep dive on and say, okay, these people go in this room, let's put this room together. Like, our hardest part will be putting the rooms together, curating the rooms, but I just think that'll be so dope.
That shout out to V. Nomad was like, yeah, the portfolio masterclass was similar. They learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who came to the... They still jumping in their
Here's the crazy part. That portfolio masterclass was, you know why? Because at the last minute, we switched up how we was gonna do it. Like a couple days before it, we switched up the seating. We didn't have it like this. We switched up the seating, and then we start putting them in groups. But to give you a read, that's why I'm thinking about this idea, because that was and then we made them build a portfolio, made them do this. So I think that'd be real dope. And then I think another group would be where if we did that 4 times a year, and then another group where 2 times a year, we took a trip out somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So they can be like Trap Masters and then like Trap Masters Elite, essentially. Like part of it where we do the mastermind, and then the next part is where we do the mastermind, but then 2 times a year, we just go out the country somewhere and we just like chill, vibe out.
Just not China.
Get a special guest. Might go to China. You know what I'm saying? And what happens in situations like that, Jose, is then because I've grown the people that I know, I can go pay somebody, hey, I got a mastermind group that they won't get into real estate. They won't do this. Hey, I want you to come speak with us. You know what I'm saying? In this arena. So I think that's one of the things too I think is amazing is being able to connect people with people who are beyond where we going. All right, let's go a little further, man. My bad, y'all. I ain't mean to get that so long, but I just had an idea and I just wanted to flush it out my head. All right, let's go a little further, man. Keep that in mind, Bernard. All right, let's go, man. Certified Trapper. Rosewood, this is gonna be interesting. The Rosewood Massacre was a racially motivated massacre of black people and the destruction of the black town that took place during the first week of January 1923 in rural Levy County, Florida, United States. At least 6 black people were killed, but the eyewitness account suggests that higher death toll around 27 to 150. Let's get to it.
Nestled in Levy County, it was a town that stood as a symbol of black resilience and economic success. But by the end of that fateful week, Rosewood would be burned to the ground and its inhabitants driven away, all because of a lie that spiraled into unimaginable violence. The racial climate in the South during the early 20th century was a volatile and dangerous one, especially for African Americans. The state of Florida was entrenched in the harsh realities of Jim Crow. This series of laws ensured the strict separation of races. Any perceived challenge to the racial hierarchy could quickly escalate into violence. The state of Florida had the highest per capita lynching rate in the nation. The return of black soldiers from World War I, who had fought for freedom abroad only to face oppression at home, further fueled these racial tensions. On January 1st, 1923, in the neighboring town of Sumner, Fannie Taylor, a white woman, claimed she had been assaulted by a black man while her husband was at work. In reality, many later suspected that she had been injured during a domestic dispute with a white lover, and falsely accused a black man to avoid the scandal. Nonetheless, her accusations spread like wildfire. In no time, a sizable mob had formed. They were intent on finding the supposed attacker. Jesse Hunter was a black prisoner who had recently escaped from a nearby chain gang. He was quickly identified, without any evidence, as the suspect. Fueled by racist fury, the enraged mob set out to find Hunter, leading them to Rosewood, a small, predominantly black town just 7 miles away. The town of Rosewood itself was unique. Unlike many black communities that existed in poverty during the Jim Crow era, Rosewood was relatively prosperous. For some of the white residents of Sumner, this prosperity did not go unnoticed and was viewed with jealousy and suspicion. By January 4th, the mob, which had grown to several hundred white men, including many from other counties. Armed with guns and torches, the army of enraged men descended onto Rosewood as the townsfolk slept. Almost immediately, the violence began as the mob indiscriminately shot anyone or anything that moved. The small town was being devoured. 2 white men attempted to break into the home of Sylvester Carrier, who shot them dead as they breached his home. This act only intensified the anger of the bloodthirsty crowd. In their effort to find the supposed attacker, Jesse Hunter, the mob met their secondary goal, the complete destruction of Rosewood. One of the few bright spots in the horrific event was the courage of some local white residents who helped black families escape. John Wright, a white store owner in Rosewood, is credited with sheltering several black women and their children in his home. Wright covertly organized their evacuation by train to safety in Gainesville. His actions saved countless lives, but it was a rare act of decency in an otherwise brutal episode. Residents of Rosewood who fled were shot at, while others tried to hide in the surrounding swamps. Entire families were forced into hiding for days without food, water, or shelter, as they feared being hunted down. Meanwhile, Jesse Hunter was never heard from again. Most historians believe that while he did escape his chain gang, he probably never even passed through Rosewood. The exact number of African Americans killed during the massacre is still unclear. Official records state 6 black people and 2 white men died, but survivors' accounts suggest the death toll was likely between 20 and 30 people. Rosewood's black residents were completely displaced. Many escaped with only the clothes on their backs, never to return. Those who survived were too terrified to speak of the events for decades, afraid of retribution from the white community and the legal system that had failed to protect them. A culture of silence pervaded when it came to events like what occurred in places like Rosewood. Unfortunately, massacres like this occurred dozens of times across the US in the early 20th century. For many years, the massacre was largely erased from public memory. Rosewood's land was either stolen or sold off, and the survivors moved to other parts of Florida, where they lived in silence about the terror they endured. It would take over 60 years for survivors to begin telling their stories. The public at large would learn about the massacre. That was until 1983, when a St. Petersburg Times story broke the silence. For the first time, the general public learned of the horrific events that occurred in Rosewood. Like so many other incidents of racial violence in America, that attack went unpunished. No one was ever charged for the destruction of the town or the murders that occurred. The loss was not only physical but also psychological. An entire community was erased, and the survivors lived with the trauma for generations. In 1994, Florida became the first state in the United States to compensate the victims of racial violence when it passed the Rosewood Compensation Act. Survivors and their descendants received reparation payment and a public apology from the state of Florida. Today, 2 physical reminders of Rosewood remain. A historical marker was erected near the original town site, and the only home that survived the siege on Rosewood, the Wright House. This home was once owned by the white storekeeper, who sheltered fleeing black residents during the rampage. In recent years, these have been efforts to preserve this home as a museum. These are currently ongoing efforts.
I just want to say, like, I remember, it's crazy that I remember I used to always watch this movie. You ever saw it before? Oh, man, Rosewood with Vin Rames. All right, such a good movie. One of the things, so another thing that I want to do at the Freedom Center, Bernard, you got to get ready for this one. I want to do movie night here, bro. I want to do movie night here. Straight up. Straight do movie night here, bro.
That'd be crazy.
No, I want to do movie night here where we watch stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we watch some real stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We watch some real stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even having a movie group. Having a movie membership. Oh, that's good. That'd be the movie membership. And it ain't even about having like brand new movies, but like movies that we can watch and business move. And we have so like in Trappers Anonymous, we do something in Trappers Anonymous where we go, every 6 weeks we change sectors, right? So we can have a movie group membership in the group where it's like, yo, $15 a month or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you something, every time we turn these lights on, it costs. That screen gonna pull some energy. But when we do something like this month, like we have once a month we come in, but if we make it out of something where it's a weekend thing, where you come in, we do like a little get together, exercise on a Thursday, Friday and Saturday we do a movie. You know what I'm saying? We do a movie Friday, we talk about the lessons, and then we do one Saturday where we talk about the lessons. You know what I'm saying? And one can be like a educational movie, and then one can be like a history movie. So on Friday we do on Friday we do it can be however we do it, but like we do like the get together that day, and then we do the movie on something, or we do 2 movies on a Saturday or something like that, you know what I'm saying? We do a matinee and then a later movie, you know what I'm saying? Where we do, one is about history and one is about like education. And then for all my people, we go through Billions, season 1 through 8, you know? You just go through it. 2 episodes of You in here one day, you like, yo, we on episode 4 of Billions in the Freedom Center. You tripping. We coming on a Friday evening, and then Saturday we watch 4 episodes. You know what I'm saying? We do that once a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much that I want to do here in my brain. It just gotta, of course, I was telling the dude this today, my brain just, because I want to do so much with this. Let's go a little further, man. Trap of the week. Let's get into it. All right, word on the street, man. Let's get into it. A lot of stock talk to talk about, man. All right, so the S&P surges 25% in 3 months. Here's the history. We talked about this before. This is yet another sign that this is a bull market. After 3-month gains of 25% or more since 1950 to current, here's what happens. The following month, the first month, minus 9%, minus 5%. That was in 1975 and 1982. In 1999, 2009, 2020, we had 0.3%, 0.9%. In 2020, we had 5.2%. 3 months later, which would be, you had a 9.7%, 5.2%, 6.9%, 6.6%, 12.2%, 10.3%. 6 months after that, you had 1.6% in 1975, you had 15.1% in 1982, you had 12.1% in 1999, you had 20.8% in 2009, 19.5% in 2025. And 1 year later, you got 17%, 19%, 12%, 18%, and last time in 2020, you had 38.5%. On average, this is good. On average, minus 2%, 0.2%, median 0.3%, and 60% of the time it was positive. from 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months, you had 100% chance of being positive after roaring up 25% in a 3-month time span. That's insane. So we had this talk before. And my question, and I guess my statement to you all is, and I said is like, we done ran so much in short period of time, the market has to cool off a little bit. And that's why I'm not, I ain't trying to be super aggressive, but I'm just like trying to just like, all right, let's just try to pick our spots. You know what I'm saying? But this is just, this is different. This is different. Let's go a little further, man. All right, so the best performance, so now that we're in the second half of the year, let's think about it. Best performing S&P companies and NASDAQ was both Palantir. S&P, you had NRG, gave us 80%. Zscaler, which is one I told them today I'm looking at. STX, Seagate Technology, 65%. Melly, y'all know we like that one in the NASDAQ. It says it's supposed to be like that. China, Mexican Amazon or something like that, you hear me? Spanish Amazon, I don't know. HWM, that was a lottery pick a while back. 69%. MU, 49% in the NASDAQ. Super Micro, I don't know, I always just stayed away from that company, dog. Ever since the bad numbers situation, I just stayed away from it, you hear me? And CrowdStrike, man, there we go. So, I like it, man. Let's go a little further. Put in the chat, what was your favorite company going into the first half of the year? Let's talk about it. Let's go a little further, man. Let's go a little further. Worst performing was Deckers, United Healthcare, Lululemon, Enphase, Edison, NASDAQ, Trade Desk, Lululemon, Marvell, Regeneron, Apple. I'm interested to see how Apple get out of this situation, bro. One, they gotta go sign. They gotta buy Perplexity. They gotta buy Perplexity. It's the only way they're gonna be able to compete. They gotta buy that AI. Tim Cook, you know you under pressure when the people start talking about firing you. Speaking of firing, why is Donald Trump talking about firing the Fed, bro? That ain't your job, bro. Bro. What we doing here? What are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? Bro, you can't fire that man, though. Bro, you can't fire that man. And he putting pressure, too. Cut the rates now. Cut the rates now. Boy, I saw that inflation go up today. I said, oh, Lord. I saw that inflation rise up a little bit today. I said, oh, we going to hit this all day today. And sure enough, all day. Cut the rates now. I called him too slow Powell. Bro, I ain't never seen this before, bro. Never in my life have I seen this before, bro. I just got to laugh at it because that ain't my business, bro. That ain't my business. I'm in the Patreon, dog. That ain't my business. Bro, somebody said he decide everything is his job. You know what? You sure is right. Everything is his job, bro. Bro is like, cut the rate now. Cut him. I'm going to fire him. He went so far as to putting candidates. Like, how you get candidates? You can't fire that dude, bro. That's not your job. Anyway, so here's what inflation is, man. Household energy, auto insurance, housing, restaurant meals, rental cars, rent, earnings, personal care, used cars, groceries, college tuition, recreation, pets and pet care, alcohol, furniture. I be damn, that inflation higher than that in furniture because they trying to knock my socks off. Every time somebody try to give me something, they say, you know the tariffs, man, I'm going to get it myself. Toys, appliances. You know what Donald Trump said? Donald Trump said the kid don't need 5 and 6 dolls. They need 2. That's what he said. Your kid don't need 12 dolls. They need 2. That's what he said.
The 2 dolls, the American dolls, be $100.
He said your kid don't need 12. They need 2. Clothing, where inflation is not at. Inflation is not in transportation, clothing, hotel rooms, electronics, and airfare, and gasoline. That's a big one, if it's not in gasoline. All right, let's go a little further, man. All right, earnings growth. Now, that was something that was, I was looking at that, and I saw it on the, I saw it on, because we got into earnings season, I always try to see, like, where do they think that earnings is going to go? So it's important that we understand we see earnings growth. So the thing is, earnings growth is expected to pick up for 2025. So 3 months ago, a sense of gloom had hovered over the first quarter of earnings. This comes from an article from Yahoo Finance. It says that ever since Trump's April 2nd Liberation Day tariff announcement, and with some warning and considerable turbulence, there was a possible recession. Notice you haven't even heard that no more. Nobody even talks about it no more, right? All right. But the gloom has been replaced by a measure of optimism, and it led up to the start of another earnings week in which J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Chase Bank have reported. While the world felt it was coming to an end, these bank stocks are essential. And so, listen, y'all. They say earnings is back on the rise. Now I want you to understand something. Now, Q1 2024 was high. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because it had got low. They was like, hey, we out of here. Earnings going to decrease, and so now they going back up. They looking at 6% and 6%. They're saying by 2026, they'll be at 13.9%. I want you to know something. We'll be in 2026 before you know it. It's crazy that this time running. You got to say one thing, you entertained. You entertained with this dude, yeah. All right, so let's go a little further, man. I like it. If earnings is back to growth, that's a thing. That is a thing. Let's go a little further. All right, so watch this. Now, this one was important for me, y'all. Watch what we about to talk about here. Watch this. Fund managers' cash have dropped. Fund managers are now rushing into equities at a high record pace. Fund managers' cash allocation has dropped to 3.9%, the second lowest in 12 years, according to Bank of America. Survey of 175 participants with $434 billion in assets. First of all, 175 people have $434 billion in assets. Let's stop right there. Second, this marked the third consecutive monthly decline since the 4.8% record in April. Meanwhile, the risk level of investors' portfolio reached the highest level on record dating back to 2001. This comes as fund managers allocate to technology stocks. So allocation to technology stocks saw its largest 3-month increase since 2009. Why did I use this? Well, because I said something early in the show that I told you we was going to get back to. And what that was is we saw what was up. NVIDIA, we saw it, and we saw the mess of the market down. And so when I saw this, there we go. And we saw NVIDIA, Microsoft, Oracle, AVGO, AMD, not everything, but we see where it's heavy at. LRCX, that's a company that Land Research, I got my eye on them too, right? And the reason why I'm saying this to y'all is because of this. If we saw calls up, we saw greed going, and we see that the fund managers are taking money off the sideline and deploying it, we see where it's going. I want y'all to sit on that for a minute and let it simmer. We see where it's going. Yep, and that C is Citibank. So let's go a little further. Let's go a little further into this because this is interesting, right? Here we go. Hedge fund performance. So you have 1, 2, 3. Here's some hedge funds performances. This going into the first half. 18%, 17%, 15, 13, 12, 11. You see, and this is important because you see where they piling their money at. Now you see people at the bottom, Millennium, Brave and Howard Master Fund, all of these people are negative, right? But if you look at this 5% and up, these are people that are beating the market, with the market, because they're piling their money somewhere. And we see where they're piling their money at. Okay, somebody said they're not understanding. Let's make it clear. If hedge funds are taking their money off the sideline and putting it into the market, but you see the whole market ain't lighting up, you see a certain section of the market lighting up, it shows you where hedge funds are dumping their money at. And if you go back to the last screen, it says the largest inflow of money has gone, this is the third largest inflow into tech since 2011. It's showing that they going right back to what got them here. They're going right back to Old Faithful. And Old Faithful is something that I've been saying for a long time. The market does not run if tech don't run. So this is why I never buy into the trap you beating the hedge funds, my boy. Thank you, family. I appreciate you, right? But what we got to realize is this. And I've been saying this for a long time. I never buy into when them people start saying the market is shifting out of tech, and that just means tech about to be on sale, because the market don't move without tech. The market don't move without tech. So let me give you a cheat code right here. I'm about to give you a cheat code. If you're in a Patreon, you notice that 80% of our plays gonna be tech plays. A few other plays gonna be, my Costco's that made us a lot of money, and but most of my plays gonna be technology plays. Because that's where your runners come from. And the reason why your runners gonna come from there is because that's where the market feels comfortable just dumping money. That's where they feel comfortable dumping money at. So like 80, and then I got a couple other, you're gonna see a bank play, because that's the second place. And it's gonna be strategic banks. It's gonna be Goldman Sachs. It's gonna be a financial play like IBKR. It's gonna be a Visa. Last year we made a ton of money on American Express. 3,500 in the chat. Right? So strategically, 80% of my money gonna go to tech plays. And here, I'm gonna be honest with you, I can live and die with that. Because every market rally that we've seen for the market outpacing, it's been because tech has been pushing. Now I'm gonna go further with you right here. Lieutenant Casey said something in our Trappers Anonymous meeting Sunday about megatrends. Megatrend, and it was a good, man, I gotta post that in that group tomorrow too, in the Trappers Anonymous group. When you see the world shifting, understand the market is shifting that way too. Because the market is telling us where the world is going. Oh my God. Listen, y'all. Listen. The market is going to always tell us where the world going. And here's why. Because the market going to put money behind, if you want to know where the world going, look at the market. The market told us who was going to tech the dot-com bubble. The market told us that. The market told us dot-com was the way. But what happens is when something becomes the way, then you're going to get a lot of things that's going to start, what you call the word here, saturating that. The market going to blow up into a bubble, and then everything that was saturated going to wipe out, and then only the strong going to stand still, and that is the way we going at. If you looked at it, watch this. When the market went to oil and gas, that was the way. So railroads, oil and gas, that's what moved the market. And then you had an era where Walmart and you had these super retailers that was the way of the market. Then Technology came early in it. They ain't doing the internet. What is that internet? I ain't worried about no internet.com bubble went, boom, wiped away all the BS companies. The solid ones came. That stayed for a long time. Now we in this AI. This is the next revolution. Now here's the thing about that. So many stupid companies gonna come out. Right now, watch this. Somebody, I listened to this article where a guy said something that was so important, and I said, bro, I really needed to hear this. But no, look what he said. He said, it's impossible to have, this was good here. He said, it's almost impossible to have someone who is an AI master when we only in the first inning. I said, ooh. He said you can have programmers because you're gonna need people to program it, but even when they're programming it, they're still learning because it's learning so fast. I said, oh, that's good. And that let me know if we in the first or second inning of AI, bro, think of what 2040 gonna look like. But watch this. Watch how many, so here's why we know the market gonna help us. And this is why it's so important for us to get rid of the noise and say, hey, where we going at? Because that's where I'm making my money at. We right now in the world where you can say, hey, check this out. If I put some money right here, watch this. Think about investing in NVIDIA when it first came, 1999. That's where you at right now in AI. Think about investing in Amazon when it IPO'd in 1997. Think about investing in Facebook when it IPO'd 2011. That's where you at right now with this AI. You gotta find some really, really good companies, not the fluff. And watch this, a good company right now don't always mean profitable. But it also don't mean they got a slew of debt. Because Amazon wasn't profitable, but it's because he was reinvesting everything back into the company. You in a part right now where you say, bro, I see this AI is where it's gonna be at, not no fluff. Let me do the research, let me do the homework. Bro, this where I'm at. And you get you some winners, and you find some companies that are supportive to the winners on that, and you say, bro, I'm all in. And you buy and hold them, and you trade them, and you buy and hold them, and you trade them, and you buy and hold them, and you trade them, and you're gonna look back 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and be like, dog, I'm a multi-millionaire off these 10 stocks. That's the game. You don't gotta switch that up. That's where we at with AI, y'all. Think about the person, me and George talked, we laughed about this a while back. Think about the person that sees the Ford Model T coming out and they say, yo, I'm gonna just keep riding my horse. I know that was me and you, George, talking about that? That was outside. You the person with the Ford Model T just dropped. You say, I'm gonna keep riding my horse. Eventually, you ain't gonna have nowhere to park that horse, fam. Now you drove way out to rural America because they got a bunch of Ford Model Ts parked outside. That's where you at with AI. And the market gonna always tell us where to go. Because what the market gonna do is, it's gonna get behind it. Why the market gonna get behind it? Because that's what's going, whatever they marketing, saying it's pushing profits, it's pushing this, but you're gonna have to go through some cycles with it. You're gonna have to go through the growth cycle, you're gonna have to go through the pullback where they readjust, you're gonna have to go through another growth. You're gonna have to be diligent enough to say, hey, I'm here. Somebody say, Trap, they still riding horses. They 100% are, but go in every major city and tell me where you gonna tie a horse up at. Show me where you gonna tie a horse at Lenox Mall. Show me where you gonna tie a horse up at Phipps Plaza. Yeah, go tie that horse up at Phipps Plaza. Go tie that horse up outside of Trump Tower and see what happened to you. Go see what they do when you go tie that. Go see what happened when you pull up with your This a stallion right here. This a fine horse right here. You ain't your fine horse. Go your ass. Go to Las Vegas and tie your horse up in front of the Canelo and Bud Crawford fight. See what happened. Go see what happened with your horse. Go see what happened with your horse. Yeah, I want VIP. I want VIP. What? Man, you don't get that. What the?
Wait, they
Budweiser
gotta valet your horse.
Clydesdale. I want VIP. I want VIP my Clydesdale. Get that Budweiser horse.
He's still gonna charge you $40 to valet your horse.
How much the valet? How much the valet the Clydesdale? What? You say cash out for what? The Clydesdale over there. That's me, baby. Beep, beep.
Don't scratch my horse.
Giddy up.
Nettie said, you ever had a horse towed?
You back. You come out and say, you got a boot on your horse. Hey, man, you got a boot on my horse for? What you doing? Yeah, you tripping, man. Yeah, they're going to repo your horse. You out of here, bro. You out of here. Man, I stole my horse. Yeah, man. So that's where we at, though, y'all. That's where we at. And so for my traders and for my buy and hold people, man, I want you to think, you don't even got to think 20 years. I want you to think 3 to 5 years out, right? Because when you start thinking 20 years out, that'd be hard sometimes. You know, I'm gonna be real, but go, man, hey, where I see this company at in 3 years, what does my research say? What is the market telling me about this? And then when 3 years come, you reevaluate it. What had happened in these 3 years? Let me think of 3 more years. Does it deserve to be here? Yes, it does. That's where we at, family. What you about to say, Sean?
I was gonna ask a question about how do you spot those in the early stages, like Palantir, for example, or CoreWeave, I guess, in that space. They were really, really cheap stocks, right? But now they at, hundreds of dollars and stuff, and Palantir used to be like $9. Right? So why weren't people getting on those in the beginning stages and stuff like that? And how can the trappers and stuff like that get in there? Like you said, they don't always have to be profitable, but what do they have to be in order for you to get in them?
That's good. So with a company like, first of all, it got to prove itself, right? So I'm still not sold on like CoreWeave like that, right? I want to see what happens to it after the lockout happens, what happens to the price. That's why I don't be fans of IPOs like that, because I be knowing what be happening for IPOs, right? The people be an IPO, they have a lockout period where nobody can't sell, and so they just drive that price up. And as soon as that lockout period over, everybody selling. Now you sitting there holding that joint. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of let it prove itself. And there's a couple stocks that I know. Zoom did it. From Zoom, I can go down the list. Beyond Meat. You know what I'm saying? We can go down a list of stocks that during that lockout period, there was Peloton. Soon as that lockout period over, now you like, yeah. Man, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen to them. I'm just saying I like to, after lockout period, then you get to see what it's gonna do. Cause big dogs run stocks up for lockout period so they can boost their money up, because their money locked up for a year or whatever. So they want to be able to exit it at the highest price possible, because they got it in at a cheap price before it IPO'd. Right? So they got it at a super cheap price. So you got to think about it. Let's say I get into a company, like think about somebody having to make a $200,000 investment in Uber. Think about Jay. Make a $1 million, whatever investment in Uber or Lyft before he IPO'd, then he exited when it was $40-something. Bro, you know how much money he made off that? Right, so that's what be happening. So you be in the companies and then you in them until once you lock out, once that lockout period, you can sell, you want that thing, you want to keep pushing that. So that's what banks be doing. They be pushing it. And after that lockout period, you just watch that thing fall. So what I want to see a company doing is, I always say I wait at least 4 to 6 quarters after a company IPO to see if I'm gonna add it to my portfolio. And what I want to see is, for me, and that profitability is not important in the moment when they like that. I need them to have a plan. So it's saying, hey, we'll be profitable based on that in this time. It can be 5 years. 5 years we be profitable. Cool. What we doing to get the profitability now? Also, what is their utensil in the market? So what are you doing in the marketplace that gives you that blue ocean strategy, and you're not just trying to be Netflix? I don't want you to be Netflix. Netflix is already Netflix. Well, this company gonna be the next Amazon. If I'm gonna invest in Amazon, I don't need the next Amazon. I need something that's better than Amazon. That's gonna make Amazon question what they got going on, right? I don't want the next. So the thing about, you look at Mark Zuckerberg, like, so if TikTok, I think they trying to create an Americanized part of it that they're gonna draw. So you keep saying, all right, well, damn, bro, like, why Zuck keep going crazy? Bro, I told y'all, Zuck dropping 100 million, 200 million. He gonna snatch you from the company. Why? He not letting you take me out. I'm not letting you take me out the spot. And I know you can't compete. So now the next thing is, if you're looking at a company, who is their competitor, and can their competitor acquire them? That becomes a thing too. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that, like when you look at Palantir, like, bro, like, they doing something only they can do. They don't got no competition yet. But watch this. Tesla at one point had a blue ocean strategy too. They didn't adjust. So that's what I'm saying. But here's the thing. When a company comes into the game, you have such a long run with them if they're doing the right things before they even get acquired or something like that. That's what you want to see, bro. That's what you want to see. Let's go a little further, man, because I don't want to stay there that long. Damn, my bad. All right, so that leads us into this right here. The future of investing, y'all, is here. Data infrastructure. That is now the new oil. And I don't even think it's the new oil now. I think it's just where it's at. Cloud is the king. So AWS, Snowflake, modern data warehousing, Google search, AI, cloud, NVIDIA. This is the thing. I'm dropping one product tomorrow that's going to talk about data centers, right? That's going to be essentials. Next generation nuclear. So I know a lot of people in the Patreon love this OKLO. I'm talking about they love it. I've never got in it, but they done made a bag off it. And that's the thing about what I like about the Patreon. Like, I like to go see them make a bag without me. You know what I'm saying? I've never been like, hey, don't put your plays in here. Man, go make that bag, man. I ain't mad. And then show your people you made a bag. I love it. So they got a lot of people in the Patreon that's on that OKLO. They be going crazy with it too. NNE, for sure, I like that. But then aerospace, Rocket Labs, I saw somebody post that the other day. I was like, you on what I'm on right now. Because I like Rocket Labs. Rocket Labs is a good one. And then I still believe in fintech. I'm not going to lie. Like, I know we took a hit for a minute, but I still believe in PayPal. Now, I will say this. This is going to be a surprise to everybody. Watch what I'm about to say here. Let me stand up and say it. Robinhood is the way of the future. Robinhood is the way of the future. Robinhood is the way of the future. For this next generation of investors. So watch how I'm about to say this. So I don't mind giving clarity on what I'm about to say. The generation of people who lost money with Robinhood during the pandemic has forgiven them. And the reason why they've forgiven them is because Robinhood consistently updates the platform. Y'all know I'm hard on Robinhood, bro. But I'm looking at it from this perspective, and I want you to hear me. There's a generation of investors that don't want to go to E-Trade. They don't want to go to Charles Schwab. They want to go on Robinhood. They want to press buy. They want to press sell, and that's all they want. They want to start their Roth IRA in Robinhood. They want to start their 401k in Robinhood. They want to get their 3% on their money APR in Robinhood. and they gonna pay the $5 or the $7 for the Robinhood Gold. I'm not saying that Robinhood is better than the other apps, but what they are doing is they are evolving while the other apps are only focusing on what I'm the big dog. They not trying to cater to the next generation. And that puts Robinhood in a blue ocean. Now, there's so many inconsistencies about Robinhood. There's so many things about Robinhood that I'm just like, bro, there's no way that people really believe in this app like this. But then I got to get out of my experienced investor mind and say, who's that generation that's coming that's going to get on the TD Ameritrade app and be like, bro, what the hell is this? There's a generation of investors coming that's going to say, bro, why would I get on Charles Schwab? This is hard. When they can go on Robinhood and it almost look like a game. There's almost no instructions needed. There's almost no, put your money in, press buy, you got it. Put your money in, buy or trade. Which one you want to do? You want to buy? Here. You want to trade? Here. And am I saying that Robinhood is better than TD Ameritrade? Am I saying that Robinhood is better than E-Trade? Charles Schwab or E-Trade? Hell no. What I'm saying is there's a generation of investors that are growing up now, and here's what they're doing. They're going to E-Trade, they're going to Robinhood to execute the play, they're going to Webull to look at the chart. Or they're going Webull to, that's it. Webull and Robinhood is going to be the way. Now, don't get me wrong. TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Charles Schwab, bro, they ain't going to miss no money. They ain't going to, we locked in. Because what happens is, as you get better and as you get, you're going to be like, hey, you're going to see the inconsistencies. But the way Robinhood keep on adding, they adding something every month. But they keeping that interface user-friendly. They keeping it for a certain type of investor. And watch what I'm about to say here. There's always going to be more young people in the world than old people in the world. So they got a never-ending audience that's evolving. That's what I mean by Robinhood is the way. It's not that they are better. Sometimes you don't have to be better. You just have to be packaged better. Sometimes you don't have to be better. You just have to be packaged better. And when you go on Robinhood, it is packaged for the most essential. Somebody say, nah, Webull got it. No, they don't. I guarantee you go look at, you talking about from experience, I'm talking about, if you go look at the numbers, Robinhood has more users and more money than Webull. You mistaken what I'm saying by better. I'm not saying better. I just told you. It ain't about better, it's about the package. It's about the package. Robinhood has mastered the package, man. And that's it. And that's it. What you got, Sean?
I was gonna ask a question about that because I started at 17 and I started with Robinhood too. It's gamified, not even gonna lie. So we have like you said, the younger generation and beginners. I think we talked about it before. There's more beginners than advanced traders.
Every time.
There's more beginners. So because there's more beginners, you have a literal bigger market. And literally I've seen people, they get on Thinkorswim and they're like, what the heck is this?
What is this?
What is going on? I quit. Investing's not for me, literally. But they see Robinhood and it literally almost inspires them like, oh, I can do this.
It make it, that's what I'm talking about the package. It makes it feel like, oh, I can do this. The interface is so simple. You go on the app, it's buy or trade. Simple. It's simple. Then they got a button that says advanced charting. I can promise you 70% of the people that on Robinhood don't touch the advanced charting part, bro. They don't touch it. I didn't come here for nothing advanced. I came to buy, sell, trade, find somebody that's gonna touch. I got it. That's what I mean.
So what do you think they need to evolve in? Because again, like you said, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? And I'm not saying that Charles Schwab, E-Trade, and them are dying, but again, eventually, if they, let me ask this: what is Robinhood from what you've seen? Because you know you've experienced it and stuff like that. You have it, right? But what do you think they need to evolve in to the point where they can start matching or be better than Charles Schwab, E-Trade? Yeah,
they don't want to. You got to realize this. Why would I go? That's why we reading the book Blue Ocean Strategy. Why would I go in the red ocean when I got a blue ocean? Why do I got to go try to compete with people who already love advanced TD, think or swim people? Why do I got to go get trade view? I don't got to go get trade and view people. I don't got to go get fidelity people. I don't need them. They can have them. We are here. If you're between 18, let me see something right quick. Watch this. Watch this. What is the average? Watch this.
One thing I know, you looking up numbers. I'm big on like knowing your audience. They know their audience down pat.
Watch this. The average user on Robinhood is between 18 and 31. Now, we go back. If we go back a little bit, I can't think of what episode it was, we talked about financial maturity and certain age levels. I can't think of what episode and how we broke it down. We talked about around this age, you normally have this amount of money. Around this age, you normally have around this amount of money. Around this age, you normally have around this amount of money. Watch this. From 18 to 31, you still not financially mature yet. I am. You don't start, and between 18 and 31, or maybe 32, you normally have there's a certain amount of money. Now, you may be exceptional here or there, but if you go look at America per capita, you can say, what's the average financial status of American? Don't matter ethnic, which is how you say the word, I always mess this word up. Ethnicity, between 18 and 35, male or female. It'll give you a number. And then, once you pass that up, what's the next bracket? So it's like 18 to like 28 or 31, and then it's like 35 to like 45 or 50, and then it's like 60 on out. Right? Those are the three levels. Robinhood know who they want. We want the people that's not experienced with money, but who, watch this, they may not have a lot of money, but they run through a lot of money. It's two different things. So this age bracket may not have a lot of money, but they touch money that go. And because they don't have the financial maturity, I am the perfect app for them. Because they're not worried about how much money I'm making on a spread. They don't even know what a spread is. I'm not saying the people that do, we talking about the majority. Right? But if I go try to get the people on E-Trade, or the people that's on TradeView, or the people that's on Tasty Trade and all them, bro, they know about my spread. They won't come. Now they sending me all these support questions. Why this ain't doing this? You looking for where's my pin bar at? Where's my Fibonacci bar at? Well, I don't got none of that. This ain't for you. Go to E-Trade. Go to E-Trade. Why I can't put all-time high right here? Why can't I use the text right here? Why can't I get the hollow candles right here? Man, go to E-Trade. Go to TradeView. This ain't me. This ain't what I come for. So the people over there, you know why they don't care about the spread? Because they not saying, oh, I made $100. Oh, they knocked me out. They knocked my socks off with that spread on that option call. A limit order? What is a limit order? How do I negotiate the option down? I don't know none of that. That ain't what Robinhood for. They for somebody that probably in a tax bracket, they probably have under $30,000. I promise you. So, bro, we got a Fibonacci of it. And watch this, somebody said something, which explains why they don't have customer service. Remember I told y'all that. I said, listen, what I need customer service for over here? Send me an email. Now go mess with them people who got $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. Hey, what's up? Where my bread at? Hey, I need to talk. Once you get to a certain once you get about, hey, I need to talk to somebody. Well, we ain't got nobody to talk to. Hey, give my money. So here's what the bigger accounts do. If you want to move your money from Robinhood, they'll do it for free. If you want to move your money from Robinhood to E-Trade, if you want to move your money from Robinhood to such and such, hey, we'll do it for free. Because they know at some point on your journey, when you really take this serious, you got to pivot. But for Robinhood, it's like, yo, cool. Watch this. I can guarantee if you looked at Robinhood metrics, they have a lifetime value of a customer. How much money am I going to make on a certain customer in their lifespan while they here? So in maturation, between 18 to 31, if this person stayed this long, how much money? That's cool. Well, with George coming, I probably can make $300,000 off George between 18. Good. He good. So once I get my $300,000 off George, I'm on to the next one. Man, don't get me. Can I leave this one, Jose? I cooked enough right here? All right, let's go. That's the maturation phase. So why do they have to go to, they created the blue ocean strategy. The blue ocean strategy is not going fish where all the sharks at. It's creating a place where nobody is at and say, this is mine. You're not even my competitor. Now their competitor is somebody like a Webull. Okay, let's compete here, right? I'm not mad at that, but this still ain't a lot of us right here. It's me and you. What's up? What's up? And I got more users than you. So when my people leave, they don't leave me to go to you. They leave me to go to E-Trade. So I'm all right with you over there. They don't leave me to go to Webull. They leave me and go to E-Trade. They leave me and go to... So I'm all right. You good over there. I'm straight on you. And they done forgot what I did in the pandemic already. They ain't worrying about that. They made that money back already. We good. Let's go. Next slide. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. My bad. Why it says older Americans dominate equities held. Bees all you eat? Come on, man. This is a master class. Come on, Benton. I see you back there, boy. I see you back there. Boy. Look at this. Older Americans dominate equity shares held. The U.S. equity ownership is heavily skewed toward older generation. Baby boomers now hold 54% of all U.S. corporate equities and mutual fund shares, down only slightly from 57% in 2020. By comparison, millennials own just 8% of all equities, up from minus 2% in 2020. Gen X accounts for 22%, roughly unchanged since the same period. Meanwhile, the silent generation still holds 16% experiencing a decline from 19% from 5 years ago. In other words, 70% of all equity remains in the hands of Americans born before 1965. This is your E-Trade. This is your Charles Schwab. This is your Fidelity. This is your Vanguard. Man, stop playing with me, man. It's a master class up here, man. What we doing up here, cuz? What we doing up here, cuz? What we doing up here, cuz? What we doing? What we doing? Come on. Yo, this show is different, y'all. This show is different. Don't compare us to nobody. We do our own thing.
So that's a gap. Like
That's
I'm looking at it like, okay, the millennials, they like, that's us.
That's a big gap. People, Sean got that stank face. He like, that was nasty. I'm telling you. So why do they gotta go? I don't gotta compete with them. We already know that's old money. By the time you get to a certain level, you gonna switch from here, but I done made enough money. You done gambled and lost enough money. You done tried some hype that done lost some money. You done buy and hold, because you really not here buy and holding like that. So I got my people, 18 to 31. This is where I'm at. I'ma never run out of them. I'ma never run out of 18 and 31-year-olds, bro. From 18 to 31, I got you. From your check at Popeyes, from your check at McDonald's, from your check at Walmart. You're an entrepreneur that's trying to be an entrepreneur. You're gonna put your money over here too until you learn about other things. I'm where you at.
And they got trust issues. So
I got you. They don't even trust the big banks.
Right.
They don't trust the big banks. They wasn't even here for the financial crisis, and they don't trust the big banks. I ain't trusting big banks. My money gone. Nah, knowing Robin Hood just played in our face 4 years ago. Locked everybody out. They ran with everybody's money, you hear me? They took the whole sell button, shut it down. Shut down. It's closed. We broke. Catch me later. You feel me? All right, man. Oh my God, bro. I love y'all so much, man. I love putting this stuff together so that we can have this. Yo, we not like nobody else, yo. Let's go, man. Let's go. What we got? All right, so before we get into our 1-800-TRAPPIN hotline, man, these are the top 8 ETFs with assets under management. It's important that you know that. So number 1 on the list is VOO. Now remember, this is the big dog. This is Vanguard, right? They have the 69. This is why I tell you I use VOO as my what? Savings account, y'all. Right? I haven't put no money in there probably like 3 months though. Not gonna lie. It's been about 3 months since I put some bread and I gotta lock back in. So VOO, which is owned by Vanguard at 69% on a 3-year return. Next one is SPY, 69.26, slightly under. And then you have BlackRock, who owns iShares. So Larry Fink, and I want to get into that too before we get in. I think we got a video on Larry Fink that I want to put up there. And then we have the total stock market. That's everything. VTI, which is 67%. Then you have Invesco QQQ. That is, your technology stocks at 94%. And then we have Vanguard Growth, which is similar to the QQQ, which is VUG. You see, anytime technology is involved, it's heavy, it's going to go hard. And then you got Vanguard Developed Markets. So that are countries that are getting developed. So you think about like Singapore, stuff like that, that's developing outside of the United States. So you want to invest outside of the United States, this would be a good one for you, the Vanguard Developed Market ETF, VEA. And then you have iShares, MSCI, which is also kind of the same way as the developed market. They actually run the same way. That's BlackRock, Larry Fink. I think he's the man that run the world. Before we get into that, let's show that video. Did we get that video from on that? I sent it to Steve. Did he send it? Yep, there we go. Let's talk about this right quick. Let's go. AI, the new generational wealth. Let's go.
How big is the AI and infrastructure opportunity for BlackRock?
I think it's enormous. I mean, we made a strategic study in 2023, and this is why we did these 3 acquisitions. We did GIP. We believe infrastructure is just at the beginning of a golden age. And I'll get into that. We believe private credit will continue to grow and evolve. We did HPS.
That's HPS.
But also we believe that if you're going to be, if you believe there's going to be a melding between public and private markets, which we believe that's going to happen.
What does that mean?
Meaning portfolios are going to have both private markets and public markets. There's a possibility that the U.S. government is going to allow in the defined contributions more private markets into DC. But the foundation of that is data and analytics. So we bought Preqin, which is the smallest of the 3 deals, but it could be as impactful as any of them in terms, because I think more and more people are going to need analytics and data to justify the blending of public and private together in a portfolio. So we look at all 3 as a major component of our long-term strategy. Related to infrastructure, we believe that there's a need for trillions of dollars investing in infrastructure related to our power grids, AI, the whole digitization of an economy. We are still going to be investing in decarbonization. So all these different investments.
Well, they go together, don't they?
They all go together, plus making sure that we have adequate dispatchable energy. So all of this is all part of a plan. And we only had one target when we determined we needed to get even larger in infrastructure, and that was GIP.
So I want you to think about this right quick. Larry Fink is the guy who just was talking. So Larry Fink is worth $1.2 billion. You know he's worth a little more than that, but that's what Forbes has him as. But right now he has $12.5 trillion in assets under management right now, with another $79.6 billion in crypto assets under management. He is now the largest asset manager globally. Personally does not own any of that money. I don't know how much I believe in that, but I want you to think about that. That is the guy that owns BlackRock right there. Next under him is Vanguard. I want you to understand something. When Larry Fink says something like AI infrastructure is the future, just know you need to be there too. And it's kind of what we talked about earlier. AI. When you see companies like Vanguard, Vanguard, BlackRock, all these other ones, Jamie Dimon. Man, I be laughing when people be mad at Jamie, because Jamie Dimon is the third or fourth biggest holder of crypto, of Bitcoin. Chase Bank been buying crypto and they were telling everybody he don't care. $12.5 trillion in assets under management. The man got his hand on every stock in the market. And right under him is Vanguard. Jack Bogle, the man that created the index fund. Whole while Jamie Dimon saying, don't buy crypto, I don't care about crypto. If you look it up, JP Morgan Chase is like the 4th biggest official owner of crypto in the game, specifically Bitcoin. So all I'm saying to us is, y'all, we really make this game harder than it gotta be. And the reason why I say we making the game harder than it gotta be is the big dog's gonna go where the money at every time. Every time. All right, let's go a little further, man.
What's good, Trap? What's good, Trappin family? Peace, love, and happiness to you all. I wish you great success in every area of your life. Thank you, Trap, for answering the question, taking the time to answer my question. Appreciate you, Jose, for picking me. Yoshi, calling from Opelousas, Louisiana. So my question is, how should we interpret sudden spikes in open interest and implied volatility without a clear news catalyst? Are they signs of hidden directional plays, or could they reflect broader hedging or institutional repositioning? Appreciate you again, Trap, for answering my question. Thank you again, Jose, for choosing me. Y'all stay blessed.
Again?
You didn't think you was gonna go that deep?
Nah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Because I remember the last question. I ain't realize he was in Opelousas, man. That ain't fault, you know what I'm saying? That's our guy, man. I didn't know that was Yoshi, man. What's good, family? Huh? Yeah, that's right there, you hear me? All right, run it back so I can just, I won't get it. I heard the volatility, but.
What's good, Trap? What's good, Trappin family? Peace, love, and happiness to you all. I wish you great success in every area of your life. Thank you, Trap, for answering the question, taking the time to answer my question. Appreciate you, Jose, for picking me. Yoshi, calling from Opelousas, Louisiana. So my question is, how should we interpret sudden spikes in open interest and implied volatility without a clear news catalyst? Are they signs of hidden directional plays, or could they reflect broader hedging or institutional repositioning? Appreciate you again, Trap, for answering my question. Thank you again, Jose, for choosing me. Y'all stay blessed.
I got you. I wanted to, because it's a two-part question. So I just wanted to make sure I wrap my brain around it. So, yep, that's exactly how I look at it when I see it. So for me, when I do my option plays, I feel more confident when I see that open interest numbers are like big, right? When the open interest number's not as hefty as I would like, it doesn't sway me as much from it, but I'm still like, now I gotta watch it more because I wanna see it. I wanna see it increase as the play starts to move and evolve. But if the Palo Alto play we put in today, I was talking to Sean, and one of the things I told Sean was, remember I said the November call had like a few thousand, but then the reason I went with the December call is because it had way more open interest. Remember that? And it's because it lets me know that there are more people there that are interested and are willing to take advantage of that call, of that play, whether it's a put or a call. So that open interest always tells me that the market, it gives me some assurance that the market, that the bigger investors, or there are more investors leaning toward making that play or more interested in that play. What'd you say, Sean? Make sure you can see it on there.
I was just going to say, can you give a quick definition of open interest for the people that don't know what open interest is?
So it essentially says like there's an outstanding number of contracts available on that section of the option chains. So the more open interest you have, that tells us that number of contracts is open. So remember, for every quad winching, contracts expire. So remember, we talk about contracts expiring, so that open interest tells us that for this date, all right, let's go even a little further. In order for any play to get made in the market, there's buyers and sellers. So when you go on the option chain, that open interest tells you there's this many buyers or sellers interested in this play. That's what that tells you. And so what happens is, I like plays. Now, I've been in plays that don't have, like a lot of Netflix plays don't always have a lot of open interest in them, right? A lot of Costco plays don't always have a lot of open interest in them. But Palantir plays, NVIDIA plays, you go to that open interest, that thing might say 10,000, 50,000, you know what I'm saying? So that open interest tells us that there's people there available here for that. Is different from volume. It's way different from volume. Volume speaks about everybody that's in the stock as a whole. So if you go on trading, you're looking at, you see volume up or volume down. On average, there's this many people in on this candle or not on this candle. But when you go to open interest, it's saying this specific contract, here's the interest in it. I like that. I think about it like this. Is another situation. Ladies, don't get mad at me when I say this. It's like dating a girl or dating a woman. When you go out, everybody looking at her. That's open interest. What happens is, you want to date the woman or your girl. I don't care if I go out with my lady and dudes looking at her. That don't make me feel insecure. It let me know I got a good contract going right here. You know? I got a good contract right here. You feel me? So that's what that is, right? So that means that there's a lot of people interested in that. And the next one says, so could it be a form of hedging? I don't know. It could be, but I wouldn't look at it as a form of hedging because it specifically deals with on a per strike price basis, if that makes sense, right? So the open interest is going to fluctuate based on the strike price or on the option chain. So I don't know if it's actually, if I would label it as a hedge, but it is, I would label it as where the interest is, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's a good one, that brother. Thank you, Yoshi. I didn't know that was you, bro. Glad to put a face to that now, brother. I appreciate you. I always tell you every time you call, bro, I wish I had that calm that you had, bro. I got so much energy, bro. Like, and I'm not saying he probably get off the call and be a tad man, you a devil. You know what I'm saying? But he just got that cool, chill energy, man. So we appreciate that. Let's go, man.
Hey, what up? What up, Trap? What up, Jose? Appreciate y'all for taking my question, man. And what up to all the trappers? My question ain't that extensive today, man. I just want to know, Trap, have you ever looked into how long it takes a company to perform well again after a split? You know what I'm saying? Because I know, as we know, once a company split, it just don't perform the same. So I just want to know, have you ever kept up with the company and checked in with it and see when it started to perform well again after the split? Appreciate y'all, man. I'm coming from Tampa, Florida. Appreciate it.
Bro, you know who I thought that was immediately when he called the dude off, what's the movie on FX that everybody was watching for years, bro? The dude, Snowfall. Maybe because I just watched some snippet. I'm not saying, yeah, I was just watching some snippets of it, and when I was like, damn, you bought from Snowball and Patreon? The first thing came to my mind is, nah, what's up, King? I see you, brother. So, what I will say is this, man. I hate when great companies split, bro. I don't know if there's an exact science, because as we can see right now, NVIDIA fell on us for a year. NVIDIA literally went through 1 year's worth of, I ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? We was running it, and then our last 2 NVIDIA plays before we barely got out them thing positive, you feel me? So I don't know if there's an exact science to it, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I will say, It always slows down a good company, man. Franklin, that's it. It always, before he was on crack too. Before he was on crack, let me say that. Because when I saw the last episode when he was cracked out, I'm not saying that, man, I'm like, he looked like the Franklin that was balling. You know what I'm saying? He looked like, I was like, that look like Franklin.
You probably said that. He even said it. His name Leon too. His
name Leon?
He's like, hey, my AC was broke.
Oh, man, I ain't tripping. They be acting like they ain't never been in a trap before. Shit. Man, look, you don't got to explain yourself to me, cuz. Like, and you in Tampa, I know it hot down there. I know it get hot in Tampa, you hear me? So, nah, you good. They tripping, you good. They act like they ain't never had box fans in the house before. You know, Jose ain't never had it before, but we used to... Got a goddamn fan. What you talking? That's only me. It's only me. I always got fun. Got from that damn fan. Anyway, but yeah. So, yeah, bro. So, well, y'all, I knew y'all was gonna get on me, dog. Hey, it's all good, Leon, bro. Listen, you family, bro. You know how they get. It's all love. But nah, bro. I don't know if there's a science behind it. Said he was drunk, not cracked out. Listen, I never watched Snowfall. I only saw the last episode. I was like, he on crack. You know, I thought he started smoking crack. I've never watched it. But nah, bro, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know if there's a science behind it, but I know I really don't like it. I really don't like it. Let's go a little further, man.
Hey trappers, happy Tuesday. My name is Gabrielle and I'm here with a question. But first, I want to give love to Trap and the entire team. Trap, you are reaching so many people and I appreciate everything that you're doing for the community and I hope that you continue to be blessed on your journey. Now let's get into it. So for my question, I am currently in an options play that expires on the 8th of August. The company is reporting earnings on the 4th of August, and it's presently in the money with about a 90% return. I would ideally like to stay in the play for a longer expiration, but I'd like to know, how do I do that without losing the profit that I've already gained? Is your recommendation to roll the contract forward for a longer expiration, or do I sell the contract, wait for a pullback, and then re-enter the play at a different term? If your advice is the latter, then how do you determine when is the right time to re-enter the play, and what factors do you use to guide that decision? Thanks, Jose, for taking my question. Bye, y'all.
So pretty. So pretty. I love a good warm. We ain't had a warm hug in a while.
Right. I was fine. I said, please.
We had a warm hug in a while.
Because the fellas be showing up in the Patreon.
The fellas be showing up, bro. So we needed that warm hug.
She said, I got you, Jose.
We ain't had a warm hug in a while. So thank you, Queen. You heard me? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's break this down in two ways. And here's the two ways that I would break it down. First way is, salute to you for being up 90% on your options play. Let's go. No. So a lot of people saying stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss. I want y'all to understand this. In the options market, stop losses do not work after hours. I want you. Hey, George. Boy, that was a loud That boy George said, That boy George hit us with the So, let's say this though. So, one is stop losses do not work after hours. What that means is, if you in the options play and they miss earnings and it drops $12, you got to eat that $12 unless it does something different when the market opens. But immediately when the market opens, it's going to stop you out. So the stop loss does not help you after hours. So just make sure you understand that, right? Stop losses does not help you after hours. So if you in a play and after hours it fall, you gotta hope it either get back where it gotta be at in the morning or where your stop is at, because if you're done. You're done. You're done. They only work during office hours. You know what I'm saying? 9:30 to 4. 4:01, stop loss cancel. So, listen, somebody say, boy, that stop out in the market, I'm telling you, them stops, bro, you gotta play them. So, next, what you need to know is, what I would say is, if you got one contract, so now because it expires August the 4th, no, earnings is August the 4th, and it expires in August. So now you've entered that 30-day window, so now that means the theta is now on top of you. So any move it makes right now that doesn't go your way takes a bigger chunk out of your profitability, right? So a $2 move inside while that theta is on top of you takes away a bigger chunk from your profit than it was if you was 45 or 60 days out. Does that make sense? Right? Because now you inside of that 30-day window, that theta starts to speed up on you. That's what I mean by it's on top of you. Whereas if you was 45 days out, then a $2 move wouldn't take that much a chunk out of your bread, and you still have time to eat it back up. So because you inside of that 30-day window, I'm thinking, like, that's the thing. Trap, why 2 watches? This is not 2 watches. One of them is called a Whoop. One of them is an Apple Watch. This one tracks my performance on a day-to-day basis, my sleep, my rest, my steps, my calories. This one is an Apple Watch. So next, I would say this, Queen. Yep, they'd be cooking you. Andy, what's good, right? That's my window. My window is always, once I get 45 days in, it's hot in the kitchen. We gotta start watching what's going on right now. So what I would say, dude, is I'll be honest with you, Queen. Man, if you up 90%, Queen, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm okay with you taking profits. Right? Because you can go into earnings. All right, I got something even better for you. The company reports earnings on August the 4th. The company reports earnings for you on August the 4th. Let's say you like the company, right? This is where I gotta add that technical part to the course, bro. I gotta add it, because this would be a perfect situation right here to dial them in on what I've been looking at, right? So here's what I would do. I would sell, because I'm that close in, it'd be different if you had more than one contract, but I think she only has one contract. So because you only have one contract, I'm not mad at you selling that, taking that profit. Or I would say this. Every day between now and Friday, or closer to that earnings call, I would tell myself, if this stock gets here, I exit. Right? Almost like having a trailing stop, right? That'll kind of like help you, right? So as the stock goes up, you move up where you take profit at. You move up where it has to fall for you to cut it. Meaning, like, let's say the stock is $123, you 90% in profit. If it goes to 127, then you say, if it hits 124, I get out. All right, it don't hit 124. Then it goes up, let's say it goes up the next day to 130. You say, hey, if it goes to 127, I get out. So what you're doing now is you're moving up where you would, if it hits this, you'll get out the play. So now what you're doing is you're not as at risk, and you making sure you gaining with the stock. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? Tell me if I need to go down a little slower, Sean, because I like when Sean brings in a little, bring it down for me a little more, Trap.
I was thinking about it from maybe a staircase example. Like if your call's betting on the market going up, if you're going up the staircase, you're making money. So if you go from floor 1 to floor 5 to floor 6 to floor 7, you're making money. But as soon as you go from floor 7 to floor 6, you know, oh, I'm going downstairs, let me exit. So
you got to put dollar signs to it.
True.
Because she understands the steps. When you put dollar signs to it, it changed the definition.
Spice it up a little.
So watch this. Yeah. So let's say on the first floor, so you 90% in. So let's say this, you 90% in, you already on the 9th floor, right? At the 9th floor, the stock right now is $145. But if it goes to the 8th floor, which means it goes down, right? You are not at 90% no more. Now you're at, let's say, 85%, right? But now if it goes to the 10th floor, you now put your stop at the 9th floor, right? So if it goes to the 10th floor, which is now 150, if it goes to the 9th floor, which is back at 145, you get out of it. That's where your trailing stop would be at. If it doesn't hit 145, you say, hey, I'm still good, because if it doesn't go back to 145, that means whiteboard. Whiteboard.
I blame Jason and Fred. I said, we almost made it.
Yeah, whiteboard.
We almost made it.
Whiteboard.
Whiteboard mode. 4-hour show. We good.
Yeah, whiteboard.
4-hour show.
Whiteboard. Just so I can understand, so I can show this.
Oh, no, we good. We here now.
Whiteboard. Whiteboard. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. Huh? Oh, it just makes sense. Oh! Cam, we was giving them that smoke today, dog. We was giving them that smoke today, dog. All right, so let's go. What I look like? We locked in on me? All right, so let's look at it like this. So the queen is 90% up on her play, right? And they go to earnings on August 4th, and the play exits in August. So I'm guessing she within the 45-day window. So let's just say she's up $2,000, right? So let's say the current stock price is and I'm just throwing numbers out here so we, you know what I'm saying? So let's say the current stock price is 135. So here's a step. So those are steps right there. So let me move this so she can do that. So let's say she's up $2,000 on the play, and the current stock price is, we'll put up here, 135. So her stop loss can be, so let's say this is we'll say this is the 8th floor right here. Now, watch this. This is the 7th floor, but this is this is in between both floors. So this is 135, but the 7th floor becomes 130, but in between here is like 132.75, right? So if it comes to 132.75, her stop would knock her out, right? And so let's say she go down from 90% to, let's say, 86%, right? But because she's inside of the 30 to 45 day, she's got the theta on top of her. No, not playing games just like that, queen. If you went to the 7th floor and it hit 130, instead of it being like 86%, you might go to 79% now. Because you inside of that theta zone, it may go to 79%. But if you knocked it out here at the 7.5, you only took that small loss. But because you put it here, if it goes from 35 to this next floor here is 40, 140, then in the middle right here is like 138. You say, I'm gonna move my stop from 132, I'm gonna now move my stop to 135 or 138 because now I've made money. So if it drops to 138, you put your stop here. Now you're not at 90% no more. Now you probably at 92% because you went up. Does that make sense? So every step now is 150 and then you get a half. 155, then you get that half. 160, and then you get that half. 165, and then you get that half. So you will put your stop, because you so far up, you want to do what's called tighten up your stop. Tighten up your stop. Right? So there's a difference between a tight stop and a loose trailing stop. So your loose trailing stop, if you not that close to it, and because they go to earnings on August the 4th, and because you inside the 45 days, but let's just say you was 75 days out or 60 days out, you may say, I'm 90% up, but I'm 60 days out. So if it's at 139, I might don't put my stop at 135. I'm willing to put my stop at 130 because I got time. So that's a loose stop. Now you get your stop somewhere to breathe, but because you so deep in there, I personally would go tight on your stop, or just say, I'm gonna just take some profit right here and then re-enter the play. I personally think that that would be the best thing for you to do, right? We don't gotta gamble and we don't gotta be greedy. What I would say for you to do is, well, I would personally say, just because you got one contract and the one thing we don't want to do, and we done did it a couple of times, but we don't want to see a good green play that's 90% turn bad, right? So I would say, if you up 90%, especially in this kind of market, just sell the one contract, sit on the side, and if you like the play, I don't want you to be attached to it, but if you see the play now give you another opportunity, then it makes a perfect time to get back in, as long as you see the confirmation happen on a candle. So let's say you see something like this. So let's say you see a candle that look like this. I probably shouldn't even do this, but it is what it is. Let's say you see a candle look like that. That's a green candle, right? And then you see a candle maybe look like this. And then you see a candle look like this. And then you see some of these, right? And so what I would do is this candle right here, if this stock comes down here and comes back, then that's a good re-entry. But it comes here and breaks it, then you gotta watch it, because now it has broke this structure right here, and you wanna see if it's now where the next low at. I know I'm getting into something I way shouldn't be getting into right now, but I don't even know why I just did that. But my brain just went to running, and that's what happens when you ask me these type of questions. So what happens is, I'll make it look like this to make it make sense a little bit better. So watch this. So normally you'll see something like this. This is a high. This is a low. This is a higher high. This is a low, but it's lower, it's higher. This is a high. This is a low. This is a higher high. This is a low. This is a higher high. So this is a high. This is a low, but this is a lower high. This is a higher low, I'm sorry. And then this becomes a higher low. Then this becomes a higher low. Then this becomes a higher low. Now what happens is, this high is validated by this low, and this low validates this high. Now, that's low. They know what we doing. It's just bring it down. No, they know what we doing. So watch this. So stocks do this. So stocks have to make higher highs and higher lows to make an uptrend. So what does that mean? That means if this is $47 and this is $50 and this is $48, this is $55. And then this is $53. And this is $60. And this is $57. And this is $65. And this is $62. And this is $70. So what that did was this created higher prices. That means each candle here got higher. And because they got higher, they created what's called a trend. But think about it as the steps that we created. Step, 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 step. Now let me ask you a question. If you're looking at these steps, you walking up, what validates this top step? The low step is what gives you the support to step on the highest step. So in order to get a higher high, you need that low because the high steps on the low so it can go up. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So the high can only be validated if it can step on a higher low to make it go up. Because, watch this, if a higher high doesn't step on a higher low, it steps on a lower low and you do what? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's why we teach y'all this. That's why we teach y'all this. That's why we teach y'all this. Right? So, watch this. These lows are essential because the high needs the low to step on. There cannot be a higher high if it has no low to step on. But the low has to be higher because if the low is not higher, then if it's a lower low, then the man falls off the cliff. If he falls off the cliff, he now creates a lower low. Let me make that make sense to y'all. Watch this. Watch this. So, and here's why I said this so the queen can make sense to you. So watch this. So now for me, what I love is this right here. This becomes what's called a BOS, break of structure. So this is a structure. So watch this. Remember we talked about the middle part of the step. Boom, up, boom, up, boom, up, boom, up, boom, up, boom, up, right? That makes sense. But watch this. Even though this high needs to step on this low, watch this part right here. This part is the spine. This is the structure part. Because watch this. When you think about steps going up, you ever think about the little slat that's in the middle that makes that the step is built on? Right? You ever think about that part? The part in the middle that the step is built on, which is this right here. This is what supports the higher high. Oh, come on. Watch where we about to go here. Come on, you know we coming with the break of neck, Anthony. Go ahead on, bro. You know where we coming at with that, bro. So watch this, y'all. Watch me. So watch this. So every break of structure solidifies that the high is strong. Every piece of every spine right there solidifies. Ant, you got on bad, Ant, because you're making me laugh, bro. Why would you say to break a neck? I'm trying to evolve, bro. So every part right here, this is the support for the next high. So watch me here. Even though this low causes this high, you get this low, but get this high. This right here, break of structure supports it. Why? Because now this high broke that high. Okay, watch me here. Watch me here. This is where we gonna get jazzy at right quick. So watch this. If the market does this, which it normally will do, now I want you to watch something. Somebody tell me what happened right here. What you see, Sean? What you see, Sean? So watch this. Here's what happened right here. Right here, watch this, y'all. You got a high or low right here, but you didn't create a higher high. Right here. Then you got a same low right here. You didn't get a higher high. You didn't get a higher high. Your low moved up a little bit. Your low moved up here. Your low moved up here. But watch this. In this case, no highs broke the high, but you did get lows. But what that means is you have now consolidation. Consolidation. The market rose, but then you got consolidation. It did not break, it did not create a new high, and it did not create a low. It stayed in the same range, even though in multiple ways. You are waiting for some type of confirmation to happen, which is you either need another high to happen, or, watch this, this is our low right here. Or you need to break that. Now watch this. Once you break this is what they hear me talk about in the Patreon all the time. Once you break this, you have now broken the structure because you've broken this low. The next candle after here is important because you need to either, watch this, once you break a structure, the market will bounce back. You can always expect an impulse moves after it break, but then following that, you're going to come down here. What happened here? You created a lower high. You created a lower high. Somebody said it. You switched the structure, it went internal, and then once it broke, there you, come on. And that's it. So for the queen, what I would do is, and why I'm telling you is, if your stock does not break a structure, you wait for a pullback off an uptrend and you get right back into it because it's still telling you that we are going up. Even if it does this, you sit on the side and you wait for it either break the high or break the low and then confirm it. There we go. All right, I'm good. I'm gone. I'm out of there. I'm out of there. Get me 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 out of there. All right, Jose, we got to end the show. Aye. So, we got more calls? One more. All right, let's see something right quick, though, before we get into that. My bad, y'all. How y'all? Look, people saying diamonds, man. Stop playing. People saying diamonds. God let me teach, y'all. God let me teach. Swing that for me. All right, we gonna go, y'all. We got one more call. How we feel about that? Let's go. Or Queen. So I hope the Queen is in the chat. I hope she truly understands. Anthony Gray, bro, you almost threw me off, bro, with the break and neck, bro. You got you know I was gonna go to it, bro. You feel me? Come on, man. We go there. All right, we got one more call. Let's get the last call in, bro. We gonna dip out.
Trap, what's going on, fam? What's going on, King? The Trap family, Jose, El Boogie, everybody over there. You know what I mean? That's keeping the operations flowing and keeping the lights on, man. I appreciate y'all for what y'all do. My question is around you, Wall Street Trapper, and the Wall Street Trapper brand, right? So I've been doing a lot of reading and research on branding and building a business's identity. And I was wondering when it was that it hit you, that you had the epiphany, like, oh shoot, like I'm a brand, like what Jay-Z said, I'm not a business man, I'm a business man, right? So when did it hit you that you're a brand, and things that you do, how you choose to interact with your base, how you choose what content you choose to put out, all that stuff is a reflection of your brand, right? And as you continue to grow and towards this 100 milli milestone, right, this journey to freedom, how do you stay true to that authentic self, right? Because the brand was founded on you being your true authentic self, right? You just happen to be getting it. You was getting out the mud, now you're getting on, you're getting it on Wall Street. So how do you stay true to yourself while continuing to grow and elevate, right, your game, right, to continue to progress towards that milestone? And the bonus question, are there times when you have, like when you feel like you lose yourself in that brand, like that Wall Street Trapper, the person, and Wall Street Trapper, the brand, become so interconnected, so one, that you have to kind of disconnect to reconnect with yourself? That's what I got. Again, I keep singing your praises, love what you're doing for the community, your cultural brand, so the culture loves you, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to all of y'all. Love.
Man, I appreciate it. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Every time you call, bro, I appreciate like what's your energy. I appreciate your insight, and you challenge me every time you call. So I appreciate that for sure. Jose, why you gotta turn everything into...
Yo, every time he show up, I be like, I ain't even sure. I was like, hey, he cooking. I was like, oh,
nah, that was good. Shout out to Jose, shout out to the team for that. That was good, that was good, that was good. Hey, Nat. So, how do I stay authentic to myself, and do I sometimes get lost in both? I'm gonna say this, bro, and this is real talk. Wall Street Trapper is who I am. So I'm never like, and I know you don't mean it that way, like I'm performing, but like it is who I am at all times. What I will say is there are moments in my journey where I gotta say, maybe we need to go in this meeting with a different tone. Maybe the evolution of trap needs to, so, and I'll tell you something, that's where the suits came from. It was, all right, bro, we gotta evolve a little bit more. Like, we can't do we gotta wear the hoodies and that's cool, but we can't, sometimes we gotta be willing to switch up a little bit. If you wanna go here, you still be authentic to who you are, but sometimes you gotta be willing to switch it up a little bit. But I'll tell you how dope it is, and I'm gonna tell you when I really knew I was good, when I was able to do good soil and still speak the way that I speak, and Bishop was like, I like that. And he told me something one day. He said, you have such, and John Hope Bryant told me this. He said, you have such an authentic voice. Don't ever change it, but don't be afraid to evolve from it. Evolve with it. And it was just saying, like, your voice is for the people who truly need to hear it. When they see you, they understand you. You speak their language. They know your mannerisms. They know you're not lying. Be true to that. You never have to change that. You never have to conform from that. But be willing to be willing to go in another room being authentically yourself, but also be able to speak the language in another room too. And that meant so much to me. That meant so much to me. And when you get somebody like a John Hope Bryant that tells me, hey, whatever room you go in, use my name. And Jose was with me when he said it. He said, whenever you go in a room, use my name. Use it like a credit card. Sling it around. It's going to move some furniture for you. Remember he told me that, Jose? At Good Soil this last time. He told me from a distance. He said, hey, listen to me. When you go in them rooms, use my name. It's going to move some furniture for you. Use it like a credit card. And that was powerful for me. And so I think the biggest thing for me to balance now is I'm always asking God, like, how do I stay trapped and still be cool with talking to people about you and still, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of the battle I'm in right now. But I'm good, bruh. I'm not gonna lie, because I think AB asked me this today in a group. He said, Trap, how you feeling today, bro? Alex, right now, he said, man, I was in a hospital bed and I heard you, Trap. So it's stuff like that make me say, like, nah, I don't care. We go get the 100 million, we get the 200 million. Like, I'm gonna keep evolving, I'm gonna keep getting knowledge, but I'm gonna always be Trapped because I understand what this represents. I'm gonna never change my name. I'm gonna never change my name from I'm Wall Street Travel. What we call you? Wall Street Travel, what you call me? You know what I'm saying? You call me Wall Street Travel. That's what that's what you should call me. You know what I'm saying? Because I want us to evolve, but I want us to know that we can still do it our way. We don't gotta conform. We can transform, but we don't gotta conform. There's an authentic version of you, and that's the keys to freedom. I think that my superpower is my authenticity. I think my superpower is my transparency. I think my superpower is saying, yo, I lost this much money. I made this much money. Y'all can do it too. I think my superpower is doing a freaking stock market in the streets in 8 different hoods. And I think that is our superpower. Or one of our core values is authenticity is our voice, right? And that authenticity is being uniquely who we are. That's our blue ocean strategy. Our blue ocean strategy is going in the hood and I remember we went to Baltimore and the security we got, not Zoe, but the other security, he was pissed off at us, pissed off at me because the dude in Baltimore said, hey, Trap, and he upped his pistol. He said, hey, Trap, you in the hood, bro. You don't never need no security, dog. You good here, dog. And the security like, hey, bro, I started walking to him. Security like, bro, what you doing? I say, nigga, he got the pistol, nigga. We walked to him. We don't walk away from him. What you doing? You're tripping. You know what I'm saying? Evidently, you don't understand what's going on right here. Your recognition ain't on point. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's and dude he wasn't even on no, he was like, bro, I want you to know, Trap, like, you good right here. So what that lets you know is, bro, they know we was coming and he already got whatever was, cause we was in the hood, they was trapping around the corner. You feel me? Bro was like, bro, you good, bro. I'm letting you know. Like, even if you came without security, Trap, like, you good. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna ever do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just saying, bro, like, your voice is what resonate with me, dog. You know what I'm saying? My DM is full of street dudes like, bro, I'm trying to come out. What's up? I got this, I got that. That's our authenticity. And I'm not saying, and that's why I don't compare. That's why I tell everybody, bro, I'm not trying to compare myself to nobody else. I don't gotta be the best options trader in the world. Long as I can make my people money, long as I'm keep grinding, long as we keep working, long as we keep developing, guess what? We know for a fact who we gonna save. Look, you said right there, bro, when you came to Chicago, for a fact you was in the hood, bro. In the trenches. everywhere we went at. And we, in New York, we was in the crack is whack park. That was the park. Crack is whack. So so for me, family, that's my superpower. And it's just me evolving in it, brother. So, man, I just want to tell you, brother, thank you for this call tonight. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you every time you call. That mean a lot to us, bro. When we went to New Orleans, they didn't know where they was at. I took them to,
Bro, you told us after we there.
I had them in the Magnolia.
We in the hood. Then he tell us like, hey, bro.
I had them in the Magnolia in New Orleans.
Like, y'all getting out? I'm like, nah, you know, I'm going to just chill right here in the truck.
On LaSalle in Washington.
I'm all right.
I had them in the hood when we went to New Orleans.
On the porch. Come up to the car like,
we on LaSalle and Washington. They're like, bro, what? I'm like, yo, this what we doing.
They had nothing on us.
You feel me?
I might have had a knife.
Because I understand that's where my love at. I understand that when we was in the trenches, when I was in the trenches, ain't nobody can't talk to me. No councilman, no president, no governor. When the football players came, they went to Metairie. They went to Chalmette. They wasn't coming uptown, they wasn't going downtown. And so for me, while everybody want to help, they going on the outskirts. And I'm not mad at that. But I know when they see me, I still smell like them. I still look like them. I still talk like them. I can relate to my dog sitting in the car hot. I done trapped out of many of them. I done slept in many of them. So for me, man, that's what Wall Street looks like, us now look like. And we're going to end the show on that tonight, man. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Man, I hope tonight even show how much this show mean to us, how much y'all mean to us, bro. Like, I truly want y'all to know that, like, we really, like, we may not get all the views that everybody get yet. But I promise you, you ain't gonna find nobody more consistent. You ain't gonna find nobody that's willing to give y'all more. I'm talking about willing to put our heart on the table. And that's from everybody in here. And I just want y'all to know, man, I appreciate when y'all share our stuff every week, bro. Like, our goal is to get to 5,000-6,000 people per show. We hit it a couple times. Let's make it consistent, y'all. So I'm gonna ask y'all to do me one favor, man. Share out the content as much as possible. Make sure you turn the likes on. Make sure you turn the notification buttons on. Make sure you are following the Wall Street Trapper page. Make sure you are on the Instagram, subscribe, because we just want to get out as much content as, I'm talking about, we about to ramp it up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure if you want Apple, hit us up, you know, when Jose dropping. When you on Spotify, when you on Google Play, make sure you just turning them up, y'all. Like, cause we coming, and we can't do it without y'all. We appreciate y'all for sharing it, liking it, and commenting. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. We out.